pretty grounded in the scientific realm of thought.
So in a world where the gods literally walk the earth, you're not religious?
No, no, they're not gods. They're magic, right? There's magic is a science. If you ask the Hermetic.
Can fully grasp your position, absolutely. All right. So, a mercenary, you say. You've done some tours of duty, or you're all training and no action?
Uh, she spent time down in Amazonia fighting against as technology, the Azis. Um, she's probably for a bit to get some rest and everything, and kind of fell into some debt, so needed a job quick. And well, this is as good as any. Should help get out of debt, right?
Perfect. All right. So Southeast Asia is a great place to get illegitimate work for
Hmm.
hardened soldiers. There's a lot of bodyguard work. Um, there's a major breakdown of armed forces and police forces, and of course that happens across the sixth world. Don't get me wrong, but
Hmm.
places
Oh
like Africa and Southeast Asia and South Asia, the fallout is so much greater simply because the corporations just aren't as heavily invested in those areas. It's kind of circular. The corps can't get to security, so they don't bring the money. So the place doesn't get developed, so it doesn't have the security. So the corps can't. But there's a lot of work here for you, and it's not very high paying, but it doesn't require a lot of questions.
yeah.
And all of this is going quite well for you. What might be a typical job for you, whether it's in Bangkok or in the islands or even in the jungle somewhere? What are the sort of things that you do? Do you protect mafia bosses or politicians, or do you hunt down people who owe debts? Or what's your do in the past 6 months or so?
Um, so Mako's kind of got a bit of a principled bent to her, which I know horrible, right? Uh, she doesn't kill very very specific targets, right? Like uh, people who hurt other people are kind of her gig. So maybe certain bounty hunting or protection stuff, but not discriminate wet work, right?
Yeah.
If it's a bad person, like this Khmer Rouge type of people uh, are probably like right up her alley, which is probably what would have drawn her. So she's done similar stuff, but on a smaller scale than that, I think.
All right, very good. So it's already crossed your mind as you hear of the communist insurgency in Cambodia that maybe there's someone who can use you up there if you could just find a way to get in contact with them. And on the other hand, the missions sound pretty damn involved. These are more like military postings than, which I guess is something you're used to. You're not a
Mhm.
runner, you're a merc, so you can probably put up with being stationed for 6 months in fucking nowhere, the middle of nowhere, surrounded
Yeah,
by people with all sorts of diseases.
yeah, but I've got
However, yeah,
the cyber deck, so everywhere's close to me, right?
good point. Good point. You can work from home. All right. So, unfortunately, or I don't know, fortunately, I guess that's just the way life goes. Thailand shuts down. It's had recently. It has had a real headache. You're old enough to have lived through the Matrix crash. You might be old enough to live through two of them. But anyway, Thailand has just had a Matrix crash, for want of a better word. No one really knows exactly why or how or where, but all government records have just vanished. Every license, every registration, every birth and death certificate, like unless it's on hard, it's all gone. There's been an incredible, probably a virus, maybe almost certainly a hacker. Who knows? The government certainly hasn't said. Even if they have any idea at all, we don't know. The long and the short of it being that about a month ago, maybe a little bit less, all data within Bangkok got reset. That's, I don't know if it's good for you or bad for you. Your SIN no longer works. Yeah, you've still got a SIN. You're still a citizen. I mean, you could probably go to the embassy and stand in line and get a new SIN if you want. But because the whole country has lost its registration process, you're just like every other bum now. does that make you feel?
Uh, Probably indifferent. I mean,
Yeah,
being a decker, there's certain built-in maybe disregard for the proper course of things, as far as sins go.
yeah,
Because you can just most things you can hack if you want it anyway. So
yeah.
over here, it probably doesn't really bother Mako too much. Like it's probably an inconvenience and annoying at
It
times,
is.
but
Can be.
but she doesn't base her identity on being a sinner. Like that's not what defines her.
And deckers can always invent new identities if they really
Yeah.
need to. That's what they do best. All right. Okay, this is good. Um, okay, we'll work out your relationship with the new character after we work out the new character. So, Skate, tell us about your character.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out how to put it in,
Sure,
unfortunately.
sure.
But I've done a little bit. So this character is a dryad.
Uh huh.
Um, they don't have a gender. They don't have much knowledge about their early background.
Do you have no
Um,
sex organs or
they were
hermaphroditic?
born a woman, but at
Uh
this
huh.
point, they don't identify with either gender.
Sure,
But
sure. But you have the reproductive. You have ovaries, for example.
right, right, and they haven't had any kind of augmentation to
Modification.
those
All right,
parts
cool.
at least.
Private conversation, but so that I understand.
Might as
Yeah.
well, put it all out there, right?
That's right. Show me what. Show me. Yeah. All right. So a dryad is a pretty unique type of creature, but certainly an alluring one, a mysterious, mystical one. Where are you
hmm
from? What's your home continent or town?
Well, somewhere in America, but I'm not exactly sure. There's a sort of an amnesia period the first 10 or so years. Um, but starting off in like a foster home in Chicago,
Uh huh.
um, and
Somewhere in
not
America
really.
sounds like the Midwest to me. So Chicago, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Or sorry
Yeah,
to interrupt.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
somewhere in America is the Midwest, I'm sure. Anyway.
So yeah, not a lot of connection to the Dryad community since uh, they didn't grow up in it. Nor
No,
should
no,
I be
you
saying
weren't.
I am not sure what the normal terminology is here.
Sure. But you didn't
Sure.
grow up with hippies who have flowers growing in their hair, casting summon beast spirit so that you can get breakfast. It
No,
wasn't.
it was more the kind of rough and tumble, upbringing initially. Um, but then when I was 16, I inherited a ridiculous amount of money
Oh, how
from
did that
an
come about? Like,
well, that's just,
yeah.
it was it's undisclosed source. I don't know
Oh,
where it came from. It's secret to me.
you don't know. Your
Untungles out.
lawyers won't
Yeah.
tell you. Sounds like the
No.
XYZ, but the lawyers won't tell you. Huh? Okay.
There's some kind of confidentiality thing. Maybe if the right person dies or something, I'll find out. But at this point, I haven't been able to get into it, or maybe I can get somebody to help me.
Like a
Um,
hacker.
you know, exactly. But
Yeah.
knowing these people, the amount of money, it seems unlikely that they left a lot of loose ends.
True.
Technology is always changing.
That's a really good point, actually. Yeah. Anyone who can bequeath an untold sum of money is hard to track down. Yeah.
Yeah. So I decided to become kind of a mercenary, although I don't have a lot of experience at it.
Sure.
Um, but I do have a lot of training and augmentations. Um,
Okay.
I actually have kind of an augmentation addiction. Um,
Yeah.
and so I'm not really sure how other dryads feel about them, but I love them. And now that I have the money to afford it, all the ones that I couldn't get when I was younger, you know, here I am.
This is another personal question, but maybe I'm a little bit even fixated on. But considering that you have an augmentation addiction and you've got all the resources in the world and you don't identify has any particular gender. Is there any reason why you haven't had an operation done?
Mostly indecision. Um,
Yeah.
like it's like, what's the point of changing things if neither if neither one seems to be the right thing?
Yeah, and you've already established long before augmentation that you don't identify as what your, I guess, physical attributes are. So if you can transcend beyond that, then perhaps you don't even need the reassurance of machine surgery to make it perhaps final. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
maybe
yeah.
there's some augmentation I'll get eventually that will, who knows, but that's not really in my plans at the moment.
It's I've had multiple characters. On a side note, not me, like my players have had multiple
Hmm.
characters, multiple people who have inserted pneumatic dildos. Like the fact that there is a pneumatic dildo in Shadowrun means that people have to have.
It
So
never occurred to me, but there's probably a dentata, which is, if you read Snow Crash, that's
I
I
feel
don't
the
know.
urge to Google.
I
I
think you
really,
should.
I feel as I know what dentata is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's uh, that's a weapon. That is. That's a yeah. That's quite a weapon indeed.
Not a pleasant one.
Excellent. So how do you get to Southeast Asia and why? Is it because of all the places on Earth, there are a few places that accept transgender people more readily?
That's one part of it. Also, I've just heard there's a lot going on there, and as somebody looking to gain some, you know, practical experience now that I'm kind of done with my training, my, I should say school off operation room training.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're basically like a self-funded college kid who decided to focus on war instead of, I don't know, chemistry.
Right, exactly.
It's a free world. It's a free market. All right. So let's assume that the two new characters, Mako and Siaban, do have some sort of relationship. Perhaps it was because Siaban contacted Mako to learn more about her millions, or maybe there's some other relationship. Maybe you were sent on a job together where you seem to be good partners for this particular task. What do you guys think? How might we unite you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty open to whatever kind of connection
It,
we might have.
same.
Hmm.
Like, I think having a job, a mutual job, is probably a good starting point. Then we can, build from there.
Hmm.
Perfect.
I
Perfect.
think the Decker angle is a great one for the millions, even though all that information is probably long lost in the crashes and everything. But who knows?
True
Yeah, it
that.
could be that I've been trying to work with you to track it down.
Hmm.
All right. Are you paying Mako, or Mako, are you demanding any service from the Dryad?
Um, Probably not demanding anything right now, but it's kind of a casual thing still.
So
Maybe
you
kind
hack
of
for
a,
free.
you do me a favor now, and I'll
Yeah,
help you out later, kind of a thing.
yeah, and we'll see what happens if I have to like break into major corporation data center. Then maybe
Mhm.
we'll talk. But
Okay, cool. All right. Well, let's assume that you are the way that you meet is hired through a job. A Johnson that we'll call Mr. Yellow to distinguish him from other Johnsons. Um, uh, no, it's not. I don't think Mr. Yellow hires you for this one, actually. Anyway, I won't get lost up in the details unless I contradict myself. But are the pair of you interested in a drug run to Tokyo, to Neo Tokyo?
Sure.
why not?
Yeah, it sounds like the sort of thing like we don't have to kill anyone.
Yeah.
It's requires a little bit of nuance, a little bit of stealth and security. It should be something that the pair of you can. Okay,
Just to clarify, Arctic, is that smuggling narcotics or smuggling pharmaceuticals?
For the clarification, it will be narcotics. Yeah, I tend not to use the word drugs for pharmaceuticals. But sometimes. You're approached by a Khmer. The Khmer are the dominant ethnicity of Cambodia. They 90% or so. Okay, so you're approached by a Khmer in Bangkok. Heavy Buddhist tattoos all over their arms and their back, shaved head, scar, milky eyes. This individual meets the pair of you. He's clearly a pretty inexperienced Johnson. This guy is more like a fixer than a true Johnson, and he's got sweaty palms. He's packing heat, but he's worried that you're packing more. This sort of situation. Anyway, yeah, you meet in a warehouse. It's illuminated by a single light. Rats, cats. He has a quick job for professionals. This is a different one. Yeah, no, this isn't the drug run. So he's got a quick job for professionals. He needs you to steal a shipping container and deliver it to a location. Are you capable of doing that? Have I got the right people for the right job?
I think I can handle that. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I could. I mean, I've got some training, so.
All right, so he gives you the details, and so that we don't get bogged down in what could easily become an hour and a half long mission. Yeah, I mean, 2.5 hours, 3.5. What do you say, guys? Anyway, I'll give you some of the rundown, and we can kind of work off each other to try to work out how this works. He's paying in gold. He's not paying in cred sticks. He's not paying in a corpse script. He's paying in actual mined gold nuggets. Them things don't lose value. They only gain value. Okay. So there you go. You've got to steal a shipping container. That shipping container is currently on a shipping ship. What do you call those things? The big boats that ship
A fighting
things
ship?
Cargo ship.
Cargo ships, of course. Cargo ship, freighter ship. You know, I found English today. So yeah, you've got to go onto a massive cargo ship and steal this shipping container out from the hundreds that are on board. Then get it and put it onto a train. The train is around about 6 kilometers away from the port. Yeah, the port is obviously really big. The train tracks are also really big. The boat is about 6 kilometers away from the train track. Not the train tracks go all the way to the port, but the boat itself, the cargo ship, 6 kilometers from the destination. But it is moored. So there we have it. Freighter, massive freighter, moored, 6 kilometers away from a train track. You've got to get this shipping container. You've got to get this shipping container from the ship onto the train. How do you do it?
So my initial thought is I can hack into the system, the freight system, and schedule that container to be transferred to the train. Now, whether we have to go inside ourselves to maybe put an RFID chip or something on the container, I'm not sure, or if we can edit that in the database. That would be my initial thought.
All right. That's good. Unfortunately, there is the problem that you can't identify exactly which container it is. You should be able to. You've got the right information, but because of the data invalidation that happened during the recent data spike, all of those records are kind of mixed up. It's one of the reasons why you've got this massive bottleneck of ships sitting at port trying to get their cargo onto the bloody shore, but all of the customs officers are like, but the paperwork. So yeah, you're able to do everything you can, but without getting an actual visual on the goods, there's no way of being sure that you're shipping the right thing.
Okay. Yeah. So then, for sure, getting aboard the ship and placing a tag on an RFID chip on or tag on the right container to make sure that we do it. Because if all that paperwork's a mess, then it should be easy to insert our own information into the ship shipping records manifest with the new tag on it. Right?
It certainly should be. So, Siobhan, how are you going to get your hacker with all these great ideas onto the ship so that he can get a visual on the target?
Well, I am a fairly smooth talker, so my initial impulse would be to um, speak, try to see if there's anyone I can talk to that has access to a decision maker on the ship that could get him on board.
Yeah, absolutely. They want to know why. Why though? Like, who the hell are you, and why should I go and get the captain for you?
Um, well, unfortunately, the I'm going to try to avoid revealing exactly who I am by acting very authoritative and mysterious and like I'm in charge. I'm not sure if that's
Perfect.
going to work. That's my plan.
Excellent. Excellent. Mako, is there any way that you back up this I'm from the government type ruse?
Um. Yeah, I think probably maybe uh, going in and whipping up some kind of story, or supporting documentation or inspection order would be.
Perfect. 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 Works. You forge the documents that need forged. You hack the files that need to. You give a wink and a nudge, and the next thing you know, you're on board. You're going through this ship. You're being escorted by men with scorpions and other cheap submachine guns, light pistols, and they take you to the cargo bay that you're meant to go. You find the shipping container that you're meant to find, and within this rather large shipping container, the thing's about 6 meters long and 2.5 meters tall. They're pretty big shipping containers, right? Pretty. Within this, there's only one item, roughly the size of a motorcycle, a very big motorcycle though. There is some kind of machine that seems to have either a scientific or medical or diagnostic value to it. Can any of you identify machines? Do you have any, like, surely you have some way of telling a microwave from a toaster, right?
I've got the hardware skill. That's probably the closest.
Perfect.
I know a lot
Hardware.
about cybernetics.
Absolutely. In fact, often cybernetics wouldn't be that useful, but in this case it is, just due to the high-tech nature of the device. It's an auto dock. Yeah, it's an auto dock. You basically put your patient in there, diagnoses all their problems, and hopefully cures them, or at least tells you where you can find a chemist to give you your antibiotics. So that's what it is. You're smuggling an auto dock.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay. So you've checked the goods. I guess you now give authorization to do what?
Well, it needs to be shipped to the. It needs to be moved to the train. So I
That's
guess
right.
trying to move it through the bottleneck of paperwork and confusion is going to be what I'm going to do.
All
I think all
right.
that confusion will make a great smoke screen.
It makes a great smoke screen, but it also makes a great gridlock. Nothing's going anywhere without grease.
Mm.
You got any way to grease the wheels of business?
Yeah, I could front some cash.
How much cash?
Um, let's say 1,000.
All right, 1,000 is good. Thousands a nice round number. And round numbers are like wheels, they make things turn. All right. Soon enough, your auto dock has been taken from the put onto the train, and it's now bound, leaving railway, heading north into Cambodia, where it will terminate at Siem Reap. You've done your job, and the dark little Khmer man, standing about 5'2" with the Buddhist tattoo, he gives you a handful of gold nuggets. And he doesn't know how much it's worth, and nor do you. What do you do? Like, you don't even know if it's real gold for that matter.
I'm going to act like it's not quite good enough.
He doesn't know what to do.
All right, then I'm gonna seem appeased.
It's good, he tell you. It's good.
Okay, I
he gives
believe.
you a grenade. Here, have grenade. Here.
But he's gonna keep the pin.
He keeps it the pin, but you can have the rest of it. You're happy now? Happy, pretty lady?
Yes.
Good. You take the gold to a jeweler, presumably, and they weigh it up, and that's the value.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Sorry, I'm also a little distracted here trying to figure this other stuff out, but
Not a problem at all. The job is done. The job is done.
excellent.
And that introduces you more than enough to bringing us into line. So we'll assume that the party already knows that Yellow Johnson has found new people to replace Shade, right? Yeah. So Shade has gone rogue. Johnson thinks that he might have been a deep cover operative, or maybe he was just an idiot. In any case, he's off the job, as technology has probably got him somewhere down in Mexico City right now.
Yeah, they got him in a basement with a taser hooked to his balls or some shit.
Yeah, blood and giving him blood transfusions. The old-fashioned way, the Aztec way. Yeah. So you might be thinking that someone's going to turn up, maybe another assassin or something to replace Shade, but instead they send two people, and we meet on the tarmac of Don Muang Airport, which is a little airport right in the very heart of Bangkok. It used to be the major airport, then they built a real one, and now it's just kind of used for personal flights and cheap commercial airlines and illegitimate things like your own. A fully functional airport, but not the main one. You meet on the tarmac. When you guys arrive, you can see that the team is putting on armor plating or replacing old rusted panels on their ancient Cessna with relatively new steel. So when these guys rock up, Johnson says to you, your new operative should be here by now. Hopefully they prove to be more reliable than the last.
I don't know where you pull these guys from, but if they're better than the last, then, they stick around, then it shouldn't be a problem.
All Shadowrunners come from the sewer.
Rags to riches.
All right. So there you are on the tarmac. Two new people have turned up. This plane doesn't look very big. Like, you hope that these are just flight crew because you don't know how everyone's going to fit in that plane. It's a 6-seater.
Yeah. Mako will kind of give a skeptical look to Siaban and raise a brow without really saying anything, but start walking up.
I guess my character will approach and go to shake hands, like, "Oh, I'm Fenway. Are you the new guys?"
Yeah, I suppose so. Thought you were the flight crew.
Oh no, I couldn't
That's
fly
that.
worth anything.
So, what would we have been briefed on about the job in general?
Good question. I'm happy to answer any questions that like you need addressing, but maybe the party can answer that better. So that
Okay.
since I'm sure you can.
I was told that we'd get the full briefing from you lot here on the tarmac.
Oh, you'd best
Rush
ask
job and all.
Yeah, you'd best ask Godfather about these things. He's more like coherent than I am.
Which one's Godfather? I'm Mako.
Yeah, you look over and there's a guy who just seems to be like autistically tinkering with the plane, like just utterly immersed, doesn't even seem to realize you're there.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's him. He's like on Overwatch for most of our missions so far.
I'll ask you if you want a hand with that as well. By the way, Neo, I don't have any like aeronautic mechanic skill, but I got a pretty high armor skill. If you want me to help you with like looking at any of that kind of shit.
Yeah, he'll ask for your hand strapping on, basically reinforcing the outer hull, like
I suppose just a quick note: I do record these. Like, do any of the two new people have like an issue with that? Because I can stop if you want.
what was that? It broke up for me a bit.
Doesn't bother.
The Twitch recording.
Yeah, it's just
He wants
getting.
permission to do the Twitch.
Big Brother is listening to our Shadowrun game because nothing
Yeah,
else
bad
to
news
do.
for you.
Because there's nothing more Shadowrun than that.
That's
Corp's always
exactly.
listening.
All right.
Yeah, just making sure that everyone's okay with it.
So where were we?
People talking to Godfather about the mission.
Yeah, so Mako's going to do a quick, I guess, matrix perception of the aircraft in question as she walks over
Awesome.
towards Godfather.
Awesome. Matrix perception. You can do that with your eyes. You don't need to log into the Matrix.
Yeah.
It's a 1980s vehicle. It has been retrofitted with a 2050s auto soft. So it does have Matrix connection. It has had Matrix connection for like 20 years, but it uses what you would consider at best archaic. This is Matrix 1.0 technology retrofitted into a plane a century old. This is not flight work.
You probably need an adapter to plug your data jack into it.
It has a CD jack, so like you could put your CDs in there.
Oh, it's really
That's literally the Shadowrun equivalent of having like a built-in record player.
Oh
It's
man,
like
this
a
thing has
bunch of
8-track.
yeah, it's like a bunch of Shadowriders driving a Model T. I'll walk
Yeah.
up towards where Godfather's working and say, where did you find this thing? Is there a museum or something nearby? Or
Oh, he turns and looks at you for a second, like he was about to respond, and then he realizes he doesn't know you.
Oh, don't worry, Godfather. These are the new guys. They're to join our squad.
I think it's an original production from the Wrong Brothers.
I'm Mako, the fellow over there said I should talk to you. Me
Right.
and my partner there hired on to give a little.
Did we get told, Mr. Johnson, or by Mr. Johnson, that he was sending
Yeah,
two new runner?
Yeah.
At
He
first,
did.
you only thought
Okay.
there were he said that he would send a replacement for Shade. He didn't send that he would. He didn't say that he would send two, but he did just contact you like 2 minutes ago and said they're here.
Right.
You have two new missed messages from Yellow Johnson.
Yeah, he plays them in his head while turning to face the newcomer, kind of looks her up and down, and kind of sticks a greasy hand out. Godfather.
Mako. She'll accept with her obvious cybernetic, not squeezing too.
Thank you. Appreciated. My body too thanks you.
Uh,
Yeah.
So
He shakes your hand. He thumps the side of the plane. He says, "As for this piece of dreck, courtesy of Mr. Johnson, but a free plane's a free plane."
when you thump it, one of the panels falls off.
God damn it!
there's probably a skeptical look at that, but yeah.
Now that the panel's
Rough
been
luck.
removed, you can at least see its engine. There's a good nuclear fuel engine in there that's been retrofitted. So, who the hell puts nuclear technology into a Cessna? I don't know. Someone did.
Look, this thing's a piece of dreck, but I'm a good pilot. I'm confident it can at least get us to our destination.
If you're
Getting us
confident,
back, I
I'm
don't know about.
Well, so, can you give us a rundown on what we're supposed to do, or would you rather wait till we're up in this?
Gonna be working on this thing probably another hour anyway before I even want to think about getting it airborne, so we got a minute. Uh, roughly speaking, we're being hired to take over a country. As I understand it, the reborn Khmer Rouge are fighting something of an insurgency, and there are only a few small bastions of civilization, as you could call it, left in the region. We're being deployed to essentially spearhead a counteroffensive.
Well, that should be interesting. Bit of a change of pace again. Good to get back into some proper, decent work.
Indeed. So yeah, we're going to be deploying into the CM Reap airport, if I remember correctly, and liaising with the. Gotta look it up. Literally, Godfather's like looking it up in an AR scroll in his like feed as he speaks.
British says as the Interior Minister.
Yeah, the Interior Minister of CM Reap.
Okay.
He'll be supplying us with targets and directives. You've been told what we're getting paid?
No.
Comes to 25K a month plus 5K expenses.
I can live with that.
What kind of expenses are we looking at?
Ammunition, supplies, gear,
Okay.
Mission
anything
parameters
that's
are
not
still trying to
personal.
loot.
Indeed,
Mission
we're
parameters are still
deniable
trying to loot,
assets
so
for a
we'll be,
reason.
ascertaining that on a case-by-case basis.
Sure. And do we have a feeling on what the risk level of this job is?
We're waging war on a country.
Yeah, it seems like the pay is a little low for that risk level, I guess.
We're smart people. We're not doing it in the front door. We're just doing a job, and we can do that in whatever manner we choose.
All right. I mean, I guess there's not a lot of other options for jobs out here, and I'm looking for
Steady
some
income.
experience, so seems good.
It's steady income. Nearly
Yeah.
200 grand a month ain't exactly a small chunk of change.
That's true. I might be a little myopic.
As long as we take our time and do the job right, it should be safe. When you look at all of us getting paid, that adds up too.
I'll
Mhm.
quickly sit down next to Andre and like lean in. Like, do you think they forgot about the 200,000 bonus at the end? Or are they just not telling them?
Uh, I mean, personally, Godfather doesn't believe we're getting a end bonus for this contract. That's
Mm.
just him.
And this is just kind of a wink and a nod, hope and a prayer kind of a bonus.
Mm.
No, it was promised, but just due to Godfather's distrust of Mr. Johnson's, he's like, no fucking way. Like, either he's just gonna string us along forever and the job will never officially end, so we never get the bonus, or he's just gonna, kill us so he doesn't have to give it to us.
That makes sense.
Mm.
I mean, he's looking at 1.4 million or some nonsense. So
Did you say it was the? Oh, sorry, I'll roleplay that. Hey, Godfather, did you say it'll take an hour to get that plane ready?
He looks down at the panel. He says, maybe 2.
All right, that'll give you a little bit of time. Ricochet, do you think we have enough time to get? Oh well, no, we do have enough. We should have enough time to get you those batteries if I find the connection and pay enough.
pretty much.
All right, well, you come with me, seeing as
I
it's
think
your
I've got
gun.
some
But
double A batteries in my pack, though. I mean, do you want them?
not the
Yeah,
kind we're
you,
looking for.
you got about 1,000.
I think I've
All
got like
strapped
2,
together and
I think.
yes,
Sweet.
Godfather
Andre.
looks up. He
Might start
says,
up that one button.
I'll see if they have bombs at the same place, but if they don't, we don't really have time to go searching. I'll do what I can.
yeah. Godfather sends you a text basically. Says, adding to the shopping list, he says, if you're buying ammo, grab me some AV assault rifle rounds, if possible.
Does anyone need anything else before I go shopping?
Can
No?
you get me a Kit Kat?
Candy bar?
Look, this is literally our last moment of civilization before Enter the Jungle. Sorry, we're having last minute purchases, motherfucker.
Oh, and can you get me some cheese for Claw?
Alright.
You shouldn't feed rats cheese.
It's good for a treat.
All right. And so you get all of the last minute provisions that you need while Godfather and anyone who's there to assist him make those final modifications on the plane. So you've got the stats for the plane there, and I'm pretty sure that because it's under drones, I think you should be able to have full power to edit it if you want to. Now, what modifications do you want to make? We know that it's got a good fuel system. We know that it's got an up to shit auto soft. You've checked it out, like you've done a very thorough inspection on it. The propellers are good. The engines are good, but that's about the only thing that is good. I guess that's good in a way. You know, the engines work and the fuel system is top notch. But you've got bald wheels, you've got a cracked windscreen, there's no headlamps, there's lots of rust, and we've already begun replacing them. So aside from replacing the rusty panels, which will hopefully increase this thing's either its body or its armor, do you want to put any more money into it, or are we just like taking it as it is, but just cutting out?
Godfather, like he knows a decent amount about repairing aircrafts. He's gonna put some expenses towards getting it into a condition where he thinks he'll be able to confidently get it to Siem Reap and back.
Okay. Well, the engine's good. I guess that means like things like replacing the wheels and stuff. Just it's
Yeah,
not
landing
necessary,
gear,
right?
you know.
But it's not necessary. It's just going to be better. It means it's less likely to crash and burn upon impact. But
Yeah, and that's basically what he's aiming for, is the ability to successfully land.
All right. Okay, cool. All right. How much are you going to pay? 1,000 at most, 100 at most? 10,000?
Say 1,000 at most.
Yep, so hey, 1,000, no worries. 1,000 will fix your windscreen, it'll fix your headlamps, it'll fix your tyres. You've already managed to source some steel and to replace it. So you don't do anything to increase the speed or the acceleration or even the handling. It's just those fundamentals are left the same. You don't change the pilot or the sensors. It's got more seat. It says 4, but it's actually got 6. Let's change that. One thing you can change, however, is you can boost its body by 1 and its armor by 1 after you replace the rusty panels and just give it a slight amount of structural integrity. But if you want to make it any better, then that's going to cost more money, and it might even reduce its speed or handling.
I think he'll bother to try to spend, say like 500 million to tune up the handling.
Sure. Yep. All right. Yeah. We'll increase the handling to 4 now that you've replaced basically everything. So you've got a handling 4, body 16, armor 2, plane. It has 1 hard point on its nose. You'd have to weld it there yourself, of course, but you could potentially weld a hard point to the nose.
For like a weapon mount?
That's right. That's what a hard point is. Yeah, that's right. So
Okay.
if you anything up to probably a submachine gun, you probably wouldn't want to put a light machine gun on the nose of a Cessna. It's just too heavy.
Did she pour too much?
Yeah. Nah, I'm not. This thing's held together with spit and duct tape. I'm not mounting a machine gun to it.
Very well. Very well.
Just. Oh no, I'm not there. I'll do it later.
All right. Well, if you've got the cheese, we're ready to go.
I will have to roll for the batteries and the explosives Andre wants.
Okay, go ahead.
And the AV rounds.
All right. Oh yes,
But not
any
the
rounds.
cheese.
Not the.
Cheese
The
is
I mean,
available.
I hope it's available,
The cheese
even if
is
it's
available.
fake cheese.
It's real New Zealand cheese.
Ooh.
It cost you 100 million.
It costs Fenway 100 million. I'll collect the money once I get back, but I will pay for it all. Okay, so we'll start with the batteries for Ricochet really quick. Scroll down to my negotiation. Okay.
You'll need to roll 14 dice to against the negotiation for the batteries, Arctic.
All
Is it
right.
a bargaining or negotiation test?
Think
It's
straight
just
negotiation.
Straight negotiation?
Bargaining
Okay,
would
so
be
I
like
got it.
negotiating with a Johnson on price.
Okay, so I got negotiation 13, and then we're paying. Are you paying for 6 dice, are you, Ricochet?
Yep.
Alright, so 13. So I got 19 dice.
Is Fenway helping?
I can if you want. How do I do that?
I have no idea.
You roll negotiation and add your hits to Omen's dice pool.
Oh,
Yeah, cool. That's what I thought.
I got six successes total, and my social limit is 9. So
The
You
market
can,
is
I guess you can
currently
add 2 to
flooded
that.
with, and even better.
So roll another 2
The
dice.
market's keep going, more. There's so much more.
Wait, what do I get at roll?
sorry.
His hits give you more dice.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
so I get 2 more dice. Ah, okay. So roll another 2d6. Another success. So 7 successes.
Market is currently flooded with batteries, and thus you have the option of either getting reliable, known, trustworthy Mitsuhama Energizer battery, or you can try this new startup that's just operating here out of Bangkok, Thai company, let alone AAA. They are offering a 10% discount on the same battery.
You'll need to roll 14 dice against it.
I have rolled.
Oh, you've already rolled that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because we need to know how many successes you beat it by to find out whether we'll get them in time.
Oh, okay. You beat it by 5, 6.
Okay, good. Yeah, so that means we'll get them in just over an hour.
Cool. That works then.
Yeah, so the base time would be 6 hours, and you divide it by your net successes.
Right. Okay. Because I got 7, so yeah, cool.
The official batteries, by the way, will be Aries, and I'll take those ones, please.
Yeah, I was gonna go the official ones.
Because Aries is the only guys that make them the official ones.
You're going to have to pay 10% extra for the area.
Yep, that's fine.
All right. Tax concessions are given to Mitza.
All right. Next, I guess I'll try and buy some IEDs for Andre.
Oh, IEDs, you can buy them like off the street. Some guy and like
some nice ones though.
This guy who may be a Sikh is selling you explosives.
Okay.
Oh, what's he
He
saying?
makes them himself.
I get a ping from. Oh, okay. I get a ping from Andre. I look up and I'm like, what about foam explosives?
Yeah, absolutely. He tells you that he knew how to make foam explosives when he was in high school.
Oh. What's the acquisition on that, Andre? Foam explosives.
I think it's like 12.
Okay. 12F. Okay.
So he goes and looks into his stocks. How many? And you only got 1 success, did you?
I haven't rolled yet.
Okay.
That was for the
I'll
other
assist
one.
you as well.
So that's what I thought. That's what I
Yeah,
thought. Yeah.
it's,
Sorry, I'm
13. Do you want to put any money towards this, Andre? I'm rolling 13.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Since I got
That's
4,
fine.
can you add 4 more to it?
Yeah. Okay. 13d6. Oh, wait. So I'll do 13. 17. 7 successes total.
The Sikh rigs opens up an Adidas sports bag, and it's just like filled with plastic explosives, foam explosives, chemical explosives, even old-fashioned TNT. He gently, carefully goes through it, and how much you after?
Can I get some? I'll send a quick ping. I suppose. I read the ping. I kind of stop for a second. I'm like, it's got a big job going. How much for the whole bag?
He'll give you 10% off if you get the whole bag. So I guess there's probably about 20 kilos because poor guy can't carry much more than that. Divided into 1/4 foam, 1/4 plastic. What else are there? Do they even have like
TNT?
What are the other? Yeah, do they have TNT in? Is that listed in the rule book?
It's called a commercial explosive.
A commercial explosive. Yep, perfect. And the fourth one, I don't know.
Info.
You said chemical, didn't you?
Yeah, like the chemical components that he would.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nitroglycerin?
Nitroglycerin, maybe. Yeah, all right, nitroglycerin. So yeah, if you can add up how much all of that is, and then it's 10% off all of it. In that case, just work out what you want rather than telling me what's in the bag.
Yeah. I'll let Andre do that, seeing as he's the bomb guy. I'll let him peer into my vision. Through the contacts that we've got from Daddy.
The rating goes up to rating 4.
I believe dynamite by itself is just 5. Foam and plastic both start at 6.
Start at 6, even better. I was going to go with 6, and then I went lower. So 6 is good.
All right, cool. So
both the dynamite and the foam.
Then offer him 10K for the bag.
He offers you whatever the price is minus 10%.
Okay, so 9K.
9K. All right. You've got that, Andre?
I do.
9K? Okay, cool.
All right.
I'll give him it, and I'll take that off Andre later.
As he's handing it to you, he says, "Real canvas, real canvas. Won't tear."
Out of my own pocket, I'll give him, I don't know, 50 new yen because I'm nice, and I give him a wink. And I say in broken, try to mimic, like sort of mimicking almost the broken English, like, remember me, yes?
Yes. I will send this to my family. Don't talk to me like that, sir. I am an educated man. And he gets all offended.
I roll my eyes and I just fucking walk away. I don't care. Time to pick up some stupid cheese, some all natural cheese.
Perfect. 100 million it is, and it's cheddar.
Ooh. All right. Last but not least, Daddy wants some bullets.
That should be easy enough, unless like you're trying to get high explosive dragon rounds or something.
What were you trying to get after?
Anti-vehicle rounds.
Ooh, anti-vehicle rounds. Yeah, you will have to roll for them, but it shouldn't be too hard. Putting a bit of titanium in a tip makes that hard.
Yeah, they're 14 R.
Do you want to roll first?
Yeah, sure. I'll assist you.
Cool.
Negotiation.
So yeah, you roll negotiation, and however many hits
I might just roll
get
a really
added
bad
to as
thing.
a bonus.
16.
I don't know.
10 dice, 3 successes. That's pretty much a statistically average.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't do that much. I did really bad on that one. 16 dice.
You get one net success.
One net success.
5.
There's a lot of people
That's
shooting
enough to
vehicles at
get
the
it.
moment.
Did you get 5
Okay.
successes, Arctic?
Yeah, that's right.
We,
Yeah,
we
5.
didn't get them.
I only got 3 successes.
I only got 3, right? Yeah. People have already bought out all the anti-tank rounds because they're waiting for a coup or a revolution. So everyone, when they see the Thai APCs rolling through the streets, they're like, "Okay, I'm going to buy some anti-tank rounds."
I kind of freak out. I'm like, fuck. Okay, I'll just get some basic like full metal jacket rounds. Maybe I don't know. What do you
You
want?
can buy
What's
them off the
decent
street.
for?
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't buy a crazy amount of them. I'll just buy a decent amount that'll serve for a few.
150, 10?
All of them.
700? What's a decent amount? How much jacket do you really need?
Oh god, we're going to the jungle for a while.
It should probably Godfather, at least when he asked, he gave you like a specific quantity you wanted, specifically in AV rounds though. If they don't have them, he's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I'd call through and let you know that there's none. You don't want anything else?
Fucking A. I
got a big
I'd
bag
say
of
depleted
explosives.
uranium, but
I'll
that'll
tell
be
you to
great
go
for the plane.
Yeah, if you said depleted uranium, I could probably go tell you to fuck yourself. No way I'm getting that. Yeah.
You can't be 28F.
Yeah. All right, I'm coming back. Get ready.
Right. Plane's just about done anyway.
All right. So while you wait for the cheese to return, an official comes up to you on the tarmac. He drives over on his little gator. Got an assistant with him, and the gator is obviously a drone unto itself. So in a way, there's kind of more like 3 operatives than 2. Anyway, this official gets out, and he looks at all the modifications that you're making as you're welding new panels on, and he tells them that unfortunately their flight plan has been cancelled. You're going to need to rebook. He then prepares to leave.
Godfather ignores him.
Anyone else there? This official comes up, tells you that your flight plan has been cancelled.
Have the shoppers returned yet, or not yet?
No. Everyone's back except for the cheese.
What kind of official is he?
Airport official. I'm not sure what role would be in charge of land clearance and what this guy's role, but like
part of air control. Probably.
Air control, right? Yeah.
Why has it been cancelled?
He just shrugs his shoulders. What difference does it matter? More important planes than yours are going when you want to go.
Godfather
can I
sighs,
see his
pulls a
documentation?
cred stick out of his pocket, slots 100 cred into it, and just says, "Just give this to whoever's going to let us take off."
He says, no. You will need much more. 2,000.
Godfather goes back to ignoring him.
We will need matrix authority and paperwork authority too. Need hard copy and computer copy. Same, both. Or you cannot fly. He leaves the paperwork with you, shrugs his shoulders, says something about stupid fucking Farang, says, insults you in Thai, thinking that none of you are going to be able to understand it, and leaves with you both the, I guess, the matrix link or whatever would be appropriate, the kind of matrix document and the physical document that you'll have to fill out to apply for clearance to leave. You were at square one, you're at square zero again now. You don't even have a flight plan. What are you going to do?
Oh, we have a flight plan.
Yeah, because we got a decker now, right?
Just
You want me to
decide
start
where
looking
go.
into it? Mako will kind of go over and mind if I sit in the plane for a bit? I'll start looking into it.
Be my guest.
And she'll plug in her data jack to her deck and kind of, I guess, like collapse down into the seat as I go full VR.
Perfect. All right. The first thing that you notice about the Matrix hub here that is being used by this airport is how damn chaotic it is. There are files lying around everywhere. It's the Matrix equivalent of junkyard with mess just everywhere. Instead of being a nice, orderly process, which the Matrix usually is, you go in, there's a terminal, there's nodes, and you go to each different location, whether you need information or access and so on. But this place, it's kind of like having filing cabinets that are half open and papers that are sitting on desks. There's nodes that go nowhere, nodes that have nothing, nodes hidden behind nodes that have been lost, and so on and so forth. But this is just the public access area. You haven't actually cracked anything yet. You're just looking effectively at the showroom, the Matrix showroom of this airport. No AI, no bots, no ICE have come to either inspect you or interrogate you or harass you. They are far too busy trying to catch up with their loops as they fulfill directives that are impossible to fulfill. What do you do? You're in the Matrix.
So I've got the link, I guess, for where this flight plan was filed originally, right? Or
Yeah, you
or will
do.
this be okay? So I'm just doing a real quick update on my readied software.
Perfect. So you're able to go straight to this link and begin doing some inspections. It's pretty simple. It's like an application form. You apply for the time that you hope to leave. You tell them who your authorities are, blah, blah, what my license is, my destination. So what's your destination?
I'm guessing in this situation, the current political climate, it doesn't really matter where it. So let me look at the map.
Anywhere but here.
I think we're probably heading we're in Bangkok, right?
We
So let's
are, and we're
head
theoretically
south.
going to Siem Reap. Yeah.
Yeah, let's head to Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City. Why not?
All
That way,
right.
it
Well,
won't
yeah,
even look weird for us to be flying into Bangkok or flying over that area.
good
Set
call.
course for the XYZ.
Perfect. All right. So go ahead and now start hacking into the system, since that's what you're trying to do now is plot a flight plan illegally.
Yeah. So I guess I need to get some marks on this
Yeah,
system.
that's
So
right. You'll need 3 marks to get in.
yeah, let's do as much as I hate to do it because brute force is more fun. I'm gonna do the more subtle,
Hack on the
sleazy,
fly.
hack on the fly. So this is hacking plus logic, and do we need dice pool bonuses to this currently?
You're in hot sim. You get a
Yeah.
+1 or 2.
Okay. Yep. And my sleaze gets boosted, but that's not a dice pool bonus. So
It's your limit.
I'll be, yeah. So where's my hacking? Sorry, just find this sheet stuff. Not 20. Only 3.
All right. I only get 2 in defense, and that's because although the airport does have good security, it's so overburdened right now that the defenses just aren't as working as properly as they should be. So you've managed to get
Sure.
just a single net success.
Yeah, that's enough for 1 mark. So
That's enough for 1 mark.
gotta get a couple more. So next attempt.
Again, you've gotten 1 net success, so you're getting closer. But the ice are starting to get a bit agitated. They haven't detected you yet, but they're just running around with. They're really stressed out, right? And
Sure. Yeah,
yeah, so they're looking for something, but not necessarily looking for you.
that's fine.
One more, yeah. Brilliant.
5.
Okay, you're in. You're in, and you're able to, and you've basically got control. So I guess the data that you'll need to insert, things like who gives you authority, blah, blah, you can work that out. You can fudge that. But when do we leave? Where are we going? What are any special conditions? And apart from that, authority should be given.
Okay. When we're leaving, I guess I'll just pop into AR real quick. I'm not in a major rush to do this and ask
Yeah.
how long.
As soon as you can get it through to the tower for takeoff clearance, we're all here.
I can get you as soon as I'm done with this. How about I give you like a few minute buffer from when I finish?
Yeah. Give me an hour. Make sure everything's double checked.
You need a whole hour?
I don't need a whole hour, but I figure it'll give him time to process it.
But we're not processing this. We're getting permission. I'm giving us.
I'm aware of what you're doing, but I'm saying that even once you fudge the paperwork, it has to get through to the tower and they have to recognize it.
Sure. If you need an hour, you got an hour. So 1 hour from now, I say I'll pop back into full VR and start working on that. So we'll be flying from not Rangoon,
Bangkok.
Bangkok to Ho Chi Minh City, a direct flight. Let's see. I don't think I have any good special conditions. I guess maybe put like a priority medical shipment or something. Make a note that this is priority medical stuff, so it'll be less likely to be scrutinized or yeah, priority medical to the Ho Chi Minh state orphanage. They
Perfect.
stop us, I'll be denying medicine to orphans.
All
So yeah,
right.
that's what I'll do. So I suppose that'd be like an edit test, right? Edit file.
Yeah, that's right.
Just double check in my list of programs real quick. I'll. Four.
It's a relatively easy task, and you're able to achieve your objectives without any problem. Yeah, and so you've now got the authority. You've got a set time that you need to be leaving at, and if you can't leave within, say, 15 minutes of that time, then your flight plan will again be forfeit. You'll have to go back.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. Okay, cool.
I'll kind of creep on out and send a copy of the flight plan over to Godfather if he accepts.
Yeah. He accepts it, looks at the flight plan, kind of snorts. He's like, all right, all aboard.
Just then, everyone who has a comlink that is registered with any of the major or any at all legal Matrix service, and I guess that's pretty much everyone gets a message. The message plays once and then plays on loop and loop and loop and loop. And every AAA Matrix channel is dedicated to constantly feeding you with this AR information. Even if you shut it down and shut that window and focus on something else, it pops up again, say every 2 minutes or so. The army has launched a coup. All Matrix traffic is blocked in Thailand. There is only this message from the government, and the government, the message comes from that general he assures you he is acting under the auspices of the king. Martial law has been declared. All businesses without extraterritoriality are now only operate within daylight hours. All material sales are suspended. That means like all bullets, for example, anything that can be considered military hardware, anything, even the stuff at Kmart, all now illegal to sell. Foreigners never had the option to own guns, so I guess that's not really too big a deal for you. Yeah, the coup is underway. Everything is changed.
The goddamn Fire Nation.
All right, time to get the fuck out of the country.
We've only got moments
Only
before.
twice.
Yeah, we've only got moments before
jump
like
in.
military lock this area down.
Yeah, I'm looking for the flat cannons to start coming out of the ground like Godzilla.
Do we have enough parachutes now that we have an extra member?
Yeah, we
The
do.
normal? Okay,
We've got
cool.
one for everyone.
Okay, that's good. All right, let's get the fuck out of Dodge.
All right. So the time comes when your flight plan is ready, and you are no doubt itching to go by that time. Unfortunately, you start up your propellers, you get going. When you get in contact with control, they tell you that all flights are suspended.
Godfather pulls an inhaler out of his pocket, takes a massive rip of beta meth, and continues moving down the tarmac.
Control is starting to blare at you. You are given no authority to V7575, V7575. Answer now, answer. Victor 75. You have no authority to leave.
While that's going on, I'm going to jump back in the Matrix and try to update our flight plan, giving it emergency authority to.
Perfect. And while you do that, does anyone grab the radio?
I suppose no one else does. I can.
All right. What are you going to tell Control?
I'm going to tell them that, well, this is an emergency cargo. We have authority.
All right. So let's by now you've already had like 2 on the Matrix. By the time some people say 2 sentences, hackers have
Yeah.
already been and done everything. So what do you, I guess it's hacking on the fly all over again, or brute force this time?
I think probably let's just hack on the fly. It ultimately doesn't really matter in this case. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess.
we'll hack
We
on the
probably
fly.
want to come back to this airport at some point to try not to
Yeah.
destroy everything.
So
You'll still have marks on the system anyway, I think. So
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
still
what are
have
the odds
marks.
these guys still work here
Yeah.
after letting us take off?
Yeah, true.
So I'll still need to jump in their host, I think, because I don't have authorization to do that, do I?
That makes sense. Yeah.
But still a hack on the fly roll. But once I get in, I'll be able to.
So Matt, just to be clear though, that guy that rocked up, he was an airport official though. He wasn't a military guy, was he?
He was not a
5
military
hits.
guy, no. He's basically like supervisor in charge of tarmac operations. He
Yeah.
doesn't
I was
actually
just-
lift
I
the
was just
bags,
thinking-
but he tells people to lift bags.
Yeah, I was just thinking like the crew. It wasn't like a soldier that had turned up to secure the airfield or anything though. And
It was not, no. They
Yeah.
they are on their way, as we suggested, but not here yet. 3 sets of next successes. You have already created the back door. You just open your own door, and there you are at the controls.
Yeah. So first thing I want to do is edit our what you call it, our flight plan to give it emergency military authorization.
Brilliant. I guess that's an editing file again.
Absolutely. Four hits.
All right. So at this point, we'll go back to our negotiator, and you can make your negotiation test. I'll give you an extra die to roll because everything seems to check out.
2.
2 successes. Oh.
Could I use my
He's afraid
diplomacy?
that he's.
Could I use my diplomacy specialization here?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. This is a diplomatic mission. The kids are going to die.
3 in total.
A total of 3 is perfect. Victor 75, you have permission to take off. Fly well in those skies.
A pleasure to hear air traffic control. Have a wonderful day.
And as you
Fighter
take
jets
off,
don't take off after him. He had like Highway to the Danger Zone like queued up on his playlist and his cyber ears, like he was ready to fucking go, but nah.
you're thankful that you replaced the tires at this point, Godfather, because this runway is shit. You are running over potholes and you're having to dodge like sparrows, but that's not the worst of it, because a big gust of wind suddenly blows across the airport, blows, and it brings with it hundreds of plastic bags which may catch in your propeller. Is there anything anyone can do? 100 plastic bags are about to swamp us. We're like a boat being surrounded by jellyfish that are going to clog our propeller.
I mean, I can cast increased reflexes so you can better pilot, I guess. That's about it.
Pull up, pull up, pull up.
I'm gonna cast reinforce on the plane.
Fenway, summon an air spirit.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll do that. I'll summon an air spirit. Let's get.
All right, we won't go into initiative, but anyone who has an idea can have an action to use that idea, whether it's summoning or, obviously in Godfather's case, piloting the plane, or if there's any other ideas that you might have, then yeah, I won't go into initiative for it, but we'll
Yeah, I'll try summoning Force 3. That should be enough, right?
So force. Where force is
5.
Low force would be fine.
Okay, yeah. So that's 5 success on a Force 3
It might have
spirit.
some kind of power that you can use to disperse the plastic bags out of our way.
The Force 3 spirit gets no successes to resist, so
Resist 2 drain still.
How much drain? It's
2.
6 is 2.
This will be a Force 6 spell. Fuck it.
And what spell are you casting?
Reinforce on the plane.
Oh yeah.
As long as it's with, is it not more than the size of the plane? No larger than the caster's magic in square meters. So is it within 6 square meters? I think it's 6 is my magic.
I'm not sure, but we won't worry about the exact math this time, and we'll just assume that it is. But it might become relevant, so you might have to think about that a little bit more. But for this situation, we'll say yeah. And the spirit, keep going, please.
No, I think I successfully summoned a Force 3 spirit, and I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Since it's Force 3, I can put an optional power on it, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, because I think it's either going to be energy or psychokinesis. Like, which one would be the one to like mess with the plastic bags?
Just have them physically, like, whirlwind them all up.
Okay, I'll use a service to get him to push the plastic bags away from the plane.
Excellent. Nothing could be more effective than an air spirit. Controlling gusts of wind or not. Right?
Yeah, you're lagging a bit.
Can anyone hear?
Yeah, you're cutting out quite
Kinda.
severely.
Yeah. All right, the spike might be over, I think, but I'm not sure.
I think it's over. I think.
All right, cool. So nothing could be better than an air spirit to disperse plastic bags from a windy day, and it's a clear runway for you, Godfather. Let's get this baby in the air. Pilot aircraft.
And I suppose since I got 5 and the spirit got 0, I guess I have 4 services left. Is that how it works?
Yep. Until sunup.
Sorry, I'm trying to use the macro.
Excellent. No, now's the low pressure time to.
Here we go.
And it's
Given
perfect.
imminent military conflict, perhaps having him perform astral overwatch wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, once I finish casting my reinforce spell, I'll jump out of body and I'll go into astral projection and follow the plane.
You notice that there is a spirit of man dressed like a Thai soldier that is watching over the airport.
It's not following us?
No, it observes you leaving though, but it's not following you.
You know, I'll keep you company like in the astral while in flight, I guess.
He won't be able to see much of the plane's detail anyway, because it will just appear as flat colors.
I'll give this thing a new paint job before we bring it back. It'll be fine.
I mean, the spirit won't even know what color.
And as far as the spirit's concerned, like, we have proper authority to take off.
There's also that.
The heat and so you're in the air. The heat and the humidity of the city suddenly gives way to an almost explosive thunderstorm. The skies open, the great grey black clouds erupt, lightning and rain, and the monsoon begins to drench Bangkok and Thailand as a whole. So you're flying into some pretty heavy weather. Means that you're probably going to have to keep it pretty low, since this thing's got no capability to breach the lower atmosphere. But there you are. You look down on the drowning city. You can see the rivers are bulging. The rain has been steady and heavy for months now. The whole time you've been here, it's been raining. And you're flying through the skyscrapers skyscrapers of mega Bangkok, one of the largest cities in the world. And the skyscrapers give way to shanties, and the shanties give way to rice paddies. You're free. You're as free as anyone can be. Just going to take a nap until we get there?
Well, I can't.
Not with that much fucking meth, no way.
No, I think I'm freaking out too much. This plane's a piece of shit.
You're going to be awake for 5 days, Godfather.
Just chill out. I'm gonna maintain my reinforced spell for a while at least.
Keeps the plane rigid in these heavy winds.
Can I use a service with my airspeed to get it to try to lower the wind around the plane, make it a bit easier to fly?
Absolutely. You can control the turbulence quite significantly with an air spirit.
Yeah, I'll ask the airspeed to do that.
Perfect.
What sort of matrix reception do we have up here?
I'm glad you asked. At the moment, we've got quite good reception, but it is fading. As long as when we were in the skyscrapers area, the Bangkok had been taken over by the military, and so most of that airspace, except for a few independent channels, was clogged. But once you get free of the skyscrapers and get over the shanties, it starts to fade and buzz, and you start getting transmissions or access to a bit more of a global network coming in from China and just from the broader satellite matrix.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get over the rice paddies and you've even left the shanties behind, it's starting to become dark territory. Your character's probably got a lot more experience than most hackers with dark territory, and there isn't much of the world that isn't covered by the Matrix. But there is a lot of the world that has really shitty Matrix cover. And so right now, as you fly over these endless drowning rice paddies and the swelling rivers, and we come into almost reaching the edge of the jungle, you've got companies like Renra, Neonet, and Horizon, who can provide the least complete coverage, the shittiest service.
Nice. So I guess then, given the kind of intermittent service, I suppose I'm going to draft up a little memo or note that about the coup that's kicking off in Bangkok, and
brilliant.
Just brief details and stuff, and just have my agent on standby to upload that to Jackpoint as a little flash update of world events, because that's pretty pertinent to some parts of the Shadow community.
The largest independent news network in the region, the Asian Australian News Network, will pay $1,000 million for your story.
Oh, I don't want to sell it. I mean, I'm just
really?
going to give it to the Shadow community. Yeah.
All right. Well,
upload it for free, free flow information.
And then you'll see it on Asian Australian News Network anyway.
Yeah.
Or gift to the Shadow community.
Yeah, I'm still kind of like a probationary member of the Data Haven. Don't want to step on any toes.
That means they're stealing from Jackpoint, though.
Well, they probably are part of it, or someone sold it.
Someone gives it straight to the public, whether it's through pay or not. In any case, any footage or information or the story that you might have provided is one of the first sources. You're one of a million others. It's
sure.
The minute the coup happens, everyone in the world knows. But still, eyewitness accounts, particularly your bird's eye view, if you provide footage of that, it's a winner. It's a real seller.
Definitely provides some, probably more of a proper view to Jackpoint.
Perfect.
Not to the point of compromising or giving away the identities of the people I'm traveling with or the plane or anything.
No.
Flying with the boys, then a selfie with everyone in the party.
Showing your the V75 on the back of the tail.
Yeah.
Hashtag and then put our coordinates in it.
Right.
Okay.
Our destination hashtag, Cambodia
Okay.
hashtag
Overthrowing the
counterinsurgency.
government.
Hashtag overthrow the government. Yeah, that could get you in a lot of trouble. All right. I might take a break, get a drink, and we'll come back in a couple of minutes. But you're currently flying over the rice paddies, and you're about to head into the remotest part of Thailand, where the border of Cambodia begins. We'll be back shortly.
I too will get a drink.
Me too.
Gonna have a quick smoke.
Gonna take some beta meth.
So, actually, is anyone here still?
No.
Why, yes.
Ooh. Okay. So when I cast Reinforce on the plane, I got 6 successes. So the armor and structure rating increases by 6 each.
Yep.
How? Because I saw that it didn't have a lot of armor at all. It has like, seats, sensor part. Armor was 2, so that 2 is now like an 8. Is that?
Yep.
How much does the armor take away from any hit we take? But I
So
can't.
when you roll a damage resistance test, you roll armor as part of that. So
Okay. And
so if it
structure
gets
comes
hit
into
by
that
6
as well.
damage, you'll roll. Yeah, I think they roll armor plus structure.
Right. Okay. So it
I
just
think
boosts it
structure
quite.
replaces their body. I think.
Cool. Okay, that's good to know. I was curious about how that actually worked because I didn't see structure in the listings. So
I think. See structure. I don't think structure applies to vehicles. I think structure.
It's more
is
for like
for,
walls and stuff,
yeah,
right?
it's for things that aren't moving.
oh, okay.
Buildings and stuff, but it's kind of their body and their hit points, and that's how you determine what can penetrate it.
Cool. But I can concentrate on that spell for as long as I like without repercussions, right? Well,
Yeah,
obviously
just
without
target number. Yeah.
in a day. So like while we're flying
have
for
returned.
this day, I can stay awake with Godfather and just keep that armor up while we fly.
Yeah, you're just going to be constantly. It'll be boring.
Yeah,
Don't
it
worry.
will be. But I'd rather be boring and than flying out of the sky with a parachute strapped to my back.
Yeah.
Which
So,
Parachutes are
expensive
fun.
event.
I mean, if we're jumping out, that's all cool. I'm down for the kicks, but I'd like to keep the plane if we could, at least somehow.
How many of us have the free fall skill?
None.
Mm.
I mean, I assume it doesn't take
We're
that much
not
skill
trying
to
to do
open a parachute.
anything. We're not putting on a fucking show.
Yeah, I know.
Gravity will fucking do most of the work for you.
So I've got that.
Yeah.
What type of roll would it be to open a parachute anyway?
Most
How are they
parachutes come with a 1500
altitude?
foot. If you don't pull the string by then, they'll fucking automatically deploy.
I mean, let's just assume these ones don't because they're bad.
I think the big problem is not the parachuting part; it's the landing part in a jungle and not breaking your leg.
Not knowing how to fall and guide yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you land in a tree,
Well,
you don't break your legs.
you just gotta
You'll
get
land. You'll probably survive, but you might be banged up. Right?
This will be when putting huge amounts in gymnastics will pay off.
As everybody knows, you land like stick straight. You don't bend your knees. That way, you don't break your legs.
I will tell you that there's been enough injuries at the fucking jump tower in fucking Benning that it doesn't really matter. You're gonna get.
That's it.
You guys monitoring the matrix traffic will notice a couple of anomalies. I don't know if it would be I don't think data search is what I'm looking for. What would be the right skill to notice an anomaly in the matrix?
Matrix perception.
Matrix perception. Thank you.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm after. So, you guys who have decks, you can make a matrix perception.
4 hits.
Yep, that's cool.
I'll
Not
just
sure.
be probably playing music on my comlink.
Yeah, too easy. All right. Mako, you're on the ball, monitoring traffic, and this is what you see. You have spotted multiple comlinks at roughly the same altitude as you guys, about 3,000 feet, about 1 kilometer up in the air. So yeah, but you don't spot any registered vehicles. You only spot comlinks.
Okay, so
When you,
I'll
you
kind
spend all
of
your money on a stealth bomber, but you have to buy the cheap comlinks.
reach
That
out
could
and
just be
tap
that could just be running
Godfather.
silent.
We probably have some company. I'm gonna get some more information, and I'll start looking for hidden icons.
Yeah, sure.
So I've got all these cheat sheets here. Let me look and see. So I guess first step, I'll jump in hot VR. That'll make it a little better for me.
Yeah.
And then I'll start searching around for more information about these anomalies that I.
All right.
So that should be another perception roll.
Two quick questions, Arctic.
Yeah.
First of all, how long has it been since we took off?
About 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe. Yeah, about 2 to 3 hours.
First of all, what airspace are we in?
We're
Sorry,
still in Thai.
I guess.
Yeah, no, these are good questions and they're valid questions. We're in a place called Isan. Isan is technically part of Thailand, but we've left the limit of the government's matrix influence. I don't know exactly what that means to anyone, but it's basically dark territory, right? So I'll elaborate on that a little. While we were in Bangkok, the government controlled the matrix. Once we got out of the vicinity, it reverted to more or less regular matrix as we know it, where a whole bunch of companies compete to provide a service. We've now entered dark territory, where each of the matrix groups are struggling to meet our needs. This is deepest, darkest Africa, but not quite, because we're not quite in the jungle yet. We've still got rice paddies beneath it. It gets worse from here. Technically, we're in Thailand.
So,
Yeah.
So, but like, as far as law goes, we're basically in nobody's airspace.
Technically, we're in Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Third question. I have like I said, like a really complicated high-tech GPS system in my head. One of the things it can do is calculate time to destination. So about how long is it saying this trip from Bangkok to Siem Reap should take?
The weather is really interfering with accurate calculations. it's a flight that can sometimes be done in 6 hours. So your flight computer is calculating anywhere between 8 to 10, and even slightly above and slightly beyond that. The calculations are all over the place, but 8 to 10 hours.
Okay, got it.
Would
So, yeah.
I was just going to ask if Mako shared the information about the signatures with everybody, or just Godfather.
I mean, anyone who's probably up and
Yeah.
awake
Okay.
would have heard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Godfather's gonna turn her back around actually and wake everybody up. He's gonna be like, "Up and at 'em, boys! We got company."
All right.
It's a bit difficult. We're in a plane.
Crack my neck, and
So
I.
are these fuckers from the looks of it.
Can you
While
sync that map data with my orientation system, please, Godfather?
Naturally.
w-
Yeah.
I'll Is it a -2 dice penalty for while I'm concentrating on something that casts spells?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna concentrate on reinforce, but I'll also cast improved invisibility on the airplane while we fly.
It's just gonna be like 6 people just like flying through the air, like sat down in seats, invisible seat.
I think that's how it'll be. Which is ironically they're kind of doing. They've made vehicle invisible, links are still visible. They just made the mistake that you were about to mistake, but they did it in the Matrix instead of the Astral.
The object resistance. Ah, okay. I googled it up and it didn't say anything about that, so it must have been a bad site. Then knowing that, it would not.
Yeah.
Object resistance I've already buffed.
It can be like Justice League, where you fly around in Wonder Woman's invisible plane, but sitting in an invisible plane, you can see them as they fly past. That's fucking awesome. Like, why wouldn't you? You should do that, I think.
You can do it, just be a bit hard.
All right. Back to Mako. Mako, how are you trying to identify this?
So my first step is I'm looking for silent icons. I want to try to find the device of whatever they're flying, or the persona if it's a rigged vehicle.
Yeah. Persona, just devices. You identify 3 vehicles. One of them is a Northrop Wasp, a little helicopter. One of them is a Cessna C-750, which is like yours, but 100 years more. And another one, you can't identify the signature. It seems to be like old. It's pre-Matrix, but you can't get a bead on it.
Yeah, and I'm not like a gearhead or anything. I wouldn't be able to tell if it's not like easy to find. So I'll go ahead and flag all these signatures with an ARO as best I can to kind of draw attention to them for the less matrix.
Cool. And with the that internal thing that Ricochet was just talking about, Ricochet, you can calculate that these planes are flying, or aircraft rather. Try to draw it maybe. If this is us, they're kind of flying like this, and they're tailing us, and each of them is at least as we are, and probably a little bit faster. So they're basically like closing in from us from behind at a distance 2 kilometers at the moment, but they could cover 2 kilometers pretty fast. And we can't see them because can't see of all the heavy cloud.
I have thermographic. Does that help?
At a distance of 2 kilometers.
Okay, no worries.
I mean,
Godfather's gonna turn around and he says, you grab my CCQC, I got a Ares with some high explosive grenades in it. They got too close.
I mean, we
can
can
crack a
always.
window on this thing.
We're only going about 60 at low altitude.
It's not
Honestly, we
pressurized.
could do a drive-by with this thing.
I mean, really, all it would take is probably me and Fenway to summon some, maybe, I don't know, wind or fire spirits and just swat them out of the sky, really. That's what we need to.
Why don't we try calling them?
I mean, we don't know why they're following us.
I don't really like being followed, and if they're following us, they must have a death wish.
Just shoot them. Shoot them.
I mean, is it easy to communicate
shoot
with them?
'em.
Like,
Yeah, if
Andre
we can
will
see their
get-
comm, we can ping their comm, basically.
Don't
you
we have
want
a
to try
radio?
and change altitude?
Do we have a radio?
I mean, I used it for the air traffic control
Yeah.
to communicate with them.
Yeah, it's like a plane from the
Andre
100.
will get on the radio.
Oh, dear God.
Hello?
What
Hello,
language do
Oscars?
you What language do you speak?
I'll start
English
out in
and
bad
climate.
English. But then
Sorry,
I'll move
stop.
down into Thai, and Mandarin, till I get some
All right.
bad.
They don't seem to understand much English, and they certainly don't understand any Mandarin. But they speak Thai. You don't understand all of their Thai because they speak a different dialect of Thai to you, but you get 9 out of 10 words. And they tell you, this is the police. You will need to land in the rice paddies.
No police? Sounds
Yes.
like asshole.
We're the police. You land. You land in rice paddy, asshole.
You
Yeah.
land.
Andre,
you land or we shoot you down.
Can I take the radio, please?
Andre will slap his hand.
Why
I
didn't you
touched the
ask for
button.
their badge? Why didn't you ask for their badges, Andre? Obviously, that's what you should have done.
You police, wear badge. Wear your badge. You no have badge.
Speak Thai.
What's that?
Speak Thai. Stop speaking English. Anyway, these aircraft begin to close in upon you. The cloud cover as we enter a bit of a clear patch over a sector of rice paddies and a small town, probably 2,000 or 3,000 villages. And as these planes come into view at a range of 300 meters, they start to really close in upon you. You don't see any police symbols upon them. The Cessna looks like a commercial jet. A helicopter looks like a crop sprayer. But that massive vehicle, the military vehicle, is huge. It's a monster. It's like having an elephant flying through the sky, this great green elephant. Does anyone know aircraft? Like, does anyone have aircraft trivia as a knowledge skill?
I have vehicles with a specialization in military.
Perfect. I asked it sarcastically. I should have known someone would have it. That's perfect. All right. It's a Hercules C-130, though you can't tell which country it came from. Big aircraft, massive big cargo plane.
Fuck.
Can I have a go on the radio?
Can I tell if it's the weaponized variant or like the cargo variant?
It's a cargo variant, you think, but there's nothing stopping people from retrofitting a cargo variant.
Yeah. Oh, I nobody knows that better than me, baby.
I don't need to tell you that.
I know you can strap guns to a civilian vehicle.
They are at very rough numbers, about 300 meters away. Those numbers are so rough, right? Because these guys are not flying in military formation. To give you a sort of indication of how close these guys are on your tail, They get to about 300 meters, and they tell you to land. If you don't land, then they're going to shoot you down.
All right. You said there was a hard point on the nose of the aircraft, right?
Potentially, I said you could have like welded a gun there, basically.
Can we just open it and use it like a firing port?
I more kind of meant like you could weld a gun to the front of your plane.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, I
really
mean, that's
what
on
I
the other
meant.
side of the engine, so probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Wait, did you hand the radio to
Yeah.
Ricochet?
Okay. All right.
What are we gonna do? They want us to land in the rice paddies. We could. You might be able to do it. You might survive.
Yeah. I was gonna turn around and say, there's a big fucking C-130 behind us. I'm thinking that's the biggest threat if they got. I mean, you could strap a tank cannon to one of those.
I mean, maybe we should tell them that we have
thinking we
the
take
correct
it out.
authority. That we have that. Because didn't the hacker give us that?
These guys ain't cops.
Or you think they're bandits?
Don't we have a big fucking gun and a tusker here to shoot it?
We've got several, and we got 2 mages that can fling spirits. Let's do this. I'm thinking I
I've
hit
got a
the
fun idea.
air brake, drop
I
behind
think
him, and
fucking
we
gun
take
is
him
on the
out.
train because it doesn't fit in the plane.
They start firing at you. They basically lean out the window with submachine guns and pistols and start firing. The C-130, I'm pretty sure it's got a real gun, but in the helicopter of the Cessna, that's how they do it.
Can we
Can
just?
The Hercules has a heavy machine gun, but it hasn't opened fire yet.
Can I summon
Godfather's
Trinity?
gonna abruptly hit the air brake and try to basically drop behind them.
All right. So you make your maneuver that the Hercules does open fire, and we enter initiative.
I regret not knowing. Overlooking the fact that obviously you know, the language speaking would be not English.
Speak Thai, you bastard! We're not Chinese. We're Thai. We're from Isan.
No,
This is the
this
Imphal
all.
Liberation Front, where we declare your government illegitimate. We are the Isan Liberation Front.
Is he speaking Thai or is he
His voice
speaking English now?
cracks.
He's like 12.
He's speaking Thai.
I've been speaking Thai this whole time.
Don't call me Chinese, asshole. I'm Thai. All right. Yeah. Get into this, I guess.
Hey, not bad.
Next person needs to get a 16. I was Ricochet ruining it for everyone. You need to get 18.
What am I ruining?
The initiative was 12, 14, 16, and then you rolled an 11. Like, how inconsiderate.
I mean, there's a
32.
34 in there. So,
Hot sim doesn't count. That's not real initiative. Unless you're a rigger.
I don't know any. All right. Anyway. Cool. I don't have many icons for this. All right, Mako, like you are. As soon as the Cessna takes a dive and Godfather pulls off a maneuver that this plane was never meant to pull, you're ready to go. What do you do?
So I would like to fork a brute force against the Cessna and the was it Wasp Hornet?
Yeah. You find defense not even as strong as the ones were in the airport.
So that is 4 hits, and it will inflict. It's resisted by willpower firewall.
All right. You smash into the wasp, but the Cessna manages to resist most of your attempts.
So mostly I'm just trying to get a mark on him. But it's also going to be 1 DV of matrix damage to the targets for every full 2.
Oh, okay, every 2 hits, is it right? Yeah, so it's no, we won't do any damage at all to the Cessna then, but the Wasp is some degradation.
Cool. And I get a mark on each of them.
Perfect.
Cool.
All
That's
right.
me.
So the guys in the Cessna, they accelerate and they speed up. Their vehicle's younger than yours. It's fast. It's got better engines, and they come up beside you and hang their submachine gun, their Scorpions out the window. And who's sitting? Just I guess we'd never really worked this out, but uh, they'll just go for the pilot. Yeah, they're just going to try to shoot the pilot. That makes sense. So how will this work for? I guess a -3 dice is a pretty sufficient penalty to hang your gun outside the window and try to shoot someone.
There is a in the combat cheat sheet. Firing from a moving vehicle is -2.
All right, and the storm will add an extra -1 to that for wind and rain, those sort of negative factors. All right.
There'd also probably be penalties for us being a moving target.
Yep, I get +3 for being inside a moving vehicle.
+3 to your dodge.
Yeah.
All right. He does a 6-round burst. Can he do that with his submachine?
Yeah. Is it burst
Yeah,
fire?
it should be able to.
Yep, no
6
worries.
round, that gives a -5 to the test, and it's a complex action.
All right. So he spends a complex action to shoot some bullets. Gets 2 net. Yeah. I suppose it's difficult for you to dodge, but you can still dodge by ducking behind the console or something.
So dodge +3 -5, so dodge -2.
Cool.
Where's the dodge button?
Brand new windscreen is just shattered. Like that cost you 80 noon.
Yeah, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. It's still on. Whatever, I'll just roll it manually.
Yeah.
Oof. I'm gonna edge that.
All right. That's
Cool.
better.
That's yeah.
All right. So the windscreen shatters, and you were about to get shot. Like, how did you get shot at all?
He just ducks and like crossways bullet fires just intersect over his head in both directions.
Your leather seats are just torn to pieces, or old vinyl seats rather. They weren't leather. Old vinyl.
Yeah.
Shredded.
He sits back up, the entire headrest is gone. He's just
It's
like
gone, yeah. It falls
just like-
out the window and just tumbles down 1,000 meters.
After this, you're going to be very uncomfortable. That's like the one thing you focus on for some reason.
Yeah, you needed that headrest. All right, perfect. Okay, that's great. So it's your turn to retaliate. You've got the Cessna beside you, you've got the Hercules behind you, and the Wasp is just trying to keep up.
He's trying his best.
all right. If I remember correctly, I have to spend at least one complex action per combat pass maintaining control of the vehicle. Actually, let me make, because it's important, let me double check whether it's a simple or complex action. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, it's a complex action. So yeah, Godfather is going to continue moving the vehicle, and God, I gotta remember the name of the interrupt action, the defense thing. There it is. He is going to full defense.
All right, perfect.
So go ahead and subtract 10 from his initiative, and he's basically done with the turn.
Okay, yep, cool. See him out. All right. Onto the helicopter, onto the Wasp. And the Wasp has a pilot and a co-pilot. And the co-pilot looks for Andre and waits until he's got a bit of a shot as Andre, pops his head up from behind one of the seats or at the window or something. And he specifically tries to shoot the gnome, since he can tell a gnome's voice from a mile away.
Who can't?
Exactly. So what's the
Sweet.
range on a heavy pistol?
It's in the table. Let me check.
Yeah.
Max range
0
is
to
60.
5 is short range. Max range is 60 meters, and that's at a -6
60
penalty.
meters. All right, they're not even going to be able to get close. So it's going to be up to the pilot to try to catch up with you.
What was the gun you gave me, Godfather?
An Ares Alpha.
Oh, nice.
So it's got the grenade launcher.
What grenades is it loaded with?
High explosive, baby.
And what ammo's in it? Just regular?
Yeah.
The helicopter's got no chance of catching you, not because it can't keep up with you, but just because of the sheer ability and obviously the proficiency of the piloting. Helicopters cannot do flips and loops, and so there's just no way that they can maneuver into a position where the gun is at range. He fires a couple of bullets, they miss, reloads his pistol. There's not much he can do. But you do hear the sound of a heavy pistol ringing in the air.
He's like holding it sideways out the window. Like
He's got a bandana covering the bottom half of his face.
This is literally like a fucking drive-by shootout midair. I love this shit.
Yeah, good. I hope so. All right.
Omen's gonna use his movement to kind of like duck down and like get on the floor of the plane. So he's just underneath the windows. And he's gonna use an action to go astrally project.
All right.
So that's 8, 9, 10. So 2d6 plus 2 I need to add. 2d6.
Do you want to project or do you want to just perceive to check out what's going on?
No, I'm gonna project because I can keep up because, well, I have in thought speed and we're not going that quickly, and I can at least go somewhere else to summon my shit. And plus, I get more initiative as well because I can think faster when I'm just
Yeah, that's
thoughts.
right. I wasn't sure if you wanted to be able to stay in control of your body so you could move around the cabin if we needed to.
He can't move around the cabin
You
as it
guys
is
can
with
move
your
me.
ass in his face.
Yeah, it's not much room. There's 6 seats, we're full, and if you need to move me, you'll move me. So an extra 9 on my initiative. 14, 15, 16, 17.
The
Up
other
to
advantage
20.
of perception is you can still cast spells on these guys if they're not in astral space.
Was it 23? Yeah, 23. And sorry, what'd you say?
The other advantage of perceiving over projecting is you can still cast spells at these guys if they're not on the astral plane, which hopefully they should.
Yeah, but probably not. All of my spells are not attack. I use my spirits to attack, which they can attack while I astrally project anyway.
Okay,
So
cool.
Don't one of you still have a spirit?
I do.
yep, Fenway does.
Yeah, I can send it to kill the pilots of some of these things, can't I?
Theoretically, yeah.
That's my action.
You could
You
mana
don't
bolt the
have
pilots.
Excuse me?
If I
Yeah.
hit.
Okay, so
It's a
so
mana
you
bolt,
spend
it automatically hits.
you spend your complex action to begin to project, but you won't be able to perceive much to begin with. However, you do at least notice the spectacular nature of being this high up in the stratosphere. I mean, it's not that high really. It's only a kilometer. You're only a kilometer up. There's a lot more sky to go. But even at this height, you're surrounded by all these tiny little Force One's air spirits that just float around, lingering in the lower atmosphere, dancing in the rain.
I'll call one of their buddies soon, and I'll use whatever.
You bitch, come over here. You serve me now. Oh
man. I'll use whatever movement I have because it's ridiculous how much movement I have while astrally. Just towards the big plane, the big fuckboy plane.
Sure.
And get ready for the next turn.
Right, Fenway. You've never been involved in an aerial gangster firefight before.
No, that would be true. How much is it an action to give to a spirit?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is it complex or simple?
First action, you have to call the spirit.
I've already got a spirit.
Yeah, no, but he's on standby, so you've got to get him
call him.
into service.
Yeah.
Is that a simple action to call it?
Just a simple action, I think.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'll call him and I'll tell him to kill the pilots of the big plane.
Very well. And it zips over there. I guess it gets its own initiative, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. So
we have a spirit.
Is there an error? I think we do. I think there is an air elemental character sheet already made up. We love our air elementals. We're addicted to them.
I have a poorly made up beast one. I don't see the air one.
Oh god, last time we used an air elemental, we attracted that fucking blood spirit.
Yeah. We don't
Back,
like
what are the odds that happens twice?
It was a Force 3 spirit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And this one's a Force 3 spirit.
Reaction is 7. Its intuition, astral initiative is going to be 3d6 plus 6. Physical initiative 2d6 plus 10.
Wait, sorry, can you say that again? What was its initiative?
2d6 plus 10 if it's materializing.
It's going to materialize in the place, so I guess so.
Yeah. So 2d6 plus 10.
Yeah, I thought there was a sheet.
22.
But I can't see it.
And I'll give it the optional power, aura energy, I think it's called.
All right.
Oh, energy aura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I thought there was an air elemental character made up. I'll very quickly make up the shell of one, and I'll let you do all the rest. So there you go.
Yeah, spirits are kind of hard to do default sheets up for because it changes every time you.
Right. Yeah. Good call. Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. That's. Yeah. 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 Fair enough. 22 it was, right?
Yeah, 22 at roll maximum.
Does it enter this initiative like just with a -10?
If we're on the
Is it
second
one-
pass, I think we're still on the
Yeah.
first pass, aren't we?
Yeah, we.
No.
I haven't acted twice, so I guess we're still on the first.
Oh,
Because I haven't had an
oh,
action.
yeah, we are. We're still on the first pass.
Right. Okay. So it immediately jumps to 23, whereas Omen jumps to 23 and falls back to 13. This is kind of tricky to keep track of on Roll20. All right. Well, look, I'll just add 10 to its initiative. I don't know. Even that's fucking complex. I guess it goes now in any case.
Yeah, so it'll just move to like where the pilots are, and if it's there to like attack them, I guess.
Yeah. Won't it have to manifest first?
Yeah, man. I'm not.
That'll be its complex action to manifest.
Okay, it'll manifest.
Yeah, cool. All right, so that's what it does. Okay, it's the Hercules go. The Hercules are certainly panicked by the manifestation of the air spirit. There's no doubt about that. And the co-pilot begins firing, and you can hear the gunfire as a heavy pistol. It tries to kill this spirit, but it's not going to do a thing. But it doesn't stop the gunner from opening fire on your plane. And with his heavy machine gun attached to his underside or in a port or wherever it is, he's trying to bring your plane down by shooting off the tail.
Heavy pistol might actually affect the Force 3 spirit, by the way, Arctic.
It's not going to be... Okay, cool. It's not... Machine gun's what we really need to worry about.
Well, yeah, but won't that also... I mean, he's firing inside of a plane.
Yeah, it's not going to be... It's like, that's why I'm saying, like, don't worry about the pistol. It doesn't fucking do anything. Just makes a lot of noise. Worry about the machine gun. The machine gun is firing on you, and it's not firing from the plane. It's part of the plane.
So this one actually has a chance to hit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It has a chance to bring down your entire crash to kill you all. Absolutely.
So, because he's shooting at the vehicle, I get a chance to dodge with the vehicle, essentially. Which I just checked. It's reaction plus it's treated like a normal dodge roll.
Okay, cool.
And because I have full defense, I also get to add my willpower.
Oh, good. Perfect. All right. So I've rolled.
All right.
Well, bullshit, like, no, not even. Not a single bullet scratches your paint job as you dance like a fairy on the typhoon winds while this great lumbering ox, this great elephant, it's like a Star Destroyer trying to shoot down a lone fighter. It's got no chance.
Told you I could make this baby dance.
I want on that big plane.
All right, Andre, how are you going to get on the big plane? It's about, well, it's closing in, but it's probably about 200 meters away.
You said that there's someone to our side?
Yeah, that's right. Cessna like our own, but more modern. close enough that the submachine gun can hit you. Probably about 30 to 50 meters.
What's the maximum range on a light pistol?
60 meters. That's at a -6 penalty.
-6 minus like.
Yeah, you can check the weapon range table in the rules section.
So yeah, what's it called? Shot. What do I have to do to hit their guy firing at us? Is that just aiming at him, or?
I think that's just aiming at him.
Sorry, what are you trying to do?
You had a guy that leaned out their window and shot at you, right?
Yeah.
He's 30 meters when he fires on.
So I want to return that favor.
You can just pick him as a target and shoot him. Unless there's
Yeah.
something like you want to shoot him in the hand, the gun, or in the dick, which would be hard because it's below the panel of steel. But I thought maybe you did. Like, I genuinely did think maybe you did.
Get that ricochet.
Yeah, you just shoot at a -2 because you're in a moving vehicle, and he gets a +3 because he's inside a moving vehicle.
And that +3 can be negated somewhat if you're using a burst weapon, but I don't think a light pistol would be a burst weapon.
No.
You can do a semiotic burst that gives a -2. It's a complex action though.
Okay.
So what's my total of negatives? -4.
You have a -2.
Plus range. The range of plus 30 meters on a light pistol.
30
Just add that
meters
up.
gives a -3, so -5.
-5 and another -1 just for the conditions, for the rain, the storm, the lightning. Total of -6.
Should have put more into fucking pistols. I will edge that.
All right. Are you doing a burst?
I didn't hear all of that.
Are you burst firing? Are you shooting 3 bullets or whatever it is?
Yeah, that's just bang, 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 basically.
Yep. It will reduce his dodge, and it's not going to cost you anything except ammunition.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so he gets +3 for being inside a moving vehicle, -2 because of the burst, so he just gets +1 on his dodge.
Cool. Only 1 success. You can't glitch on a dodge roll, can you?
Not
Believe you
really,
can.
no.
I don't think you can. All right.
Yeah,
So,
no, you can glitch any roll.
what would
Does whatever you want it to do.
He falls out.
right?
Yeah,
He doesn't
doesn't
actually
necessarily
glitch.
mean he gets hit, but okay.
Can I
He got
hit him
3
in the
ones
dick
on
then?
7 dice. Yeah, that works. The bullet ricochets and does actually hit him in the dick after all. That's a perfect glitch. Okay, yes,
it's,
cool. So
9 physical to soak.
he only gets 1 success. So 6 successes, 9 physical. Oh, nasty. Not wearing any armor because, like, who needs armor when you're in a plane? You're not going to get shot. So he
Godfather looks down at his armor jacket.
Well, you say that, but they were coming in this plane to get into a firefight, so.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, true that. But but they have no armor in any case. And it reduces it by 2. So was it 9 physical damage?
Yeah, so it'd be 7 physical.
Bam, bam! You shoot him, and he's wearing like a Panama suit, like a white suit with a black tie and a white hat. And you see this guy get shot. It fills his chest full of bullets, and he slumps back into his chair. But he keeps returning fire, heavily injured though he is.
And Andre will continue to talk shit Thai that entire time. Like, oh, Chinese dog, I ruined your suit.
I'm
Oh,
Thai.
too bad.
I'm Thai.
You Chinese dog fucker.
Ricochet.
All right. Was there only the one guy shooting at us from the Cessna?
That's right. Yeah, there's a pilot and a co-pilot, and the co-pilot is now injured but returning fire.
And then the Wasp has fallen behind, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Or maybe not necessarily behind, but
Not
there's no
ahead.
way he can keep up with it. But yeah, probably ahead or above or something. Just can't keep up with these. What do they call there's a famous flying circus, not Monty Python's one, mind you. But anyway, yeah.
Like military guys, the Blue Angels or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah, the name doesn't come to me. I don't actually know it, but
And then
try to pull up trivia that I don't actually have, but my subconscious did not serve. Sorry.
And there's the Hercules is the other one.
Yeah, that's right. A Hercules is about 200 meters behind us now, and it has a heavy machine gun that just can't touch us.
But it's gonna be pretty hard to scratch, I think.
Oh yeah, how can you? Yeah, that's right. Even its crew are in reinforced steel, only behind. It is. Yeah, it's the tank of the skies, isn't it?
All right. How far away? 200 meters.
Yeah. I mean,
extreme range. Yeah, it's too far.
Yeah. Obviously, the distance is extremely dynamic and partially dependent on how close, or almost entirely dependent, how close our pilot wants to get. We can't outrun them, but we can out.
What skill does a grenade launcher, under-barrel grenade launcher use?
Heavy, you'd think.
Heavy weapons. Yeah.
It is heavy. All right.
Yep.
So I'd be looking at a -6 for range. What other penalties were there?
-1 for the weather conditions, and that's about it.
Yep. Is that
grenade launchers have a range of like 500 meters?
Maximum range, yeah.
Yeah, that is extreme. Never.
That's pretty close range. 500 meters. Sorry. Anyway.
It is a smart linked weapon if you have that.
Yeah, I do. And I'm assuming you would have gave me authorization for that.
Yep.
Do I have authorization for the wireless grenades?
Yeah. It also has an airburst link in it.
Oh shit! What do they do? They
basically decreases your scatter if you miss, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Reduces scatter distance by 2 meters per hit instead of 1 meter per hit. Nice.
Okay, this is going to be a grenade heavy campaign.
All right.
We fly over like the Khmer Rouge base, just rain grenades down onto like the commander's tent. Fly off.
Look.
I'm gonna shoot.
Look, just be lucky we're not with the tank, because I got a couple like disposable rocket launchers in there.
I like to feel that kind of is what happened in Vietnam, though. Just getting your Huey and drop regular hand grenades over where you think that there might be an enemy.
Oh, fuck it, yeah, I'll be shooting a high X grenade at the Hercules.
All right.
So we're looking at a -7. Smart Link, I believe, actually reduces range penalties as well, doesn't it?
By one, or vision magnification does. Wireless Smart Link just gives you a +2 if it's linked to Cyber Eyes.
Is that all?
There's a rangefinder you can pair with.
Also gives you like accuracy and.
I was pretty sure it gave you negated some range penalties as well.
You need the improved rangefinder for that.
Okay.
You need vision magnification is what decreases or negates range penalties.
Vision mag is way better at it, but I thought Smart Link negated a little bit.
Yeah. It's the improved rangefinder, which is another upgrade for the Smart Link, which it only does a 1 level.
Where's that?
Let me find it for you. I've got it on my gun, but I think it's Cannon Companion. Not Cannon Companion, Run and Gun.
Oh. Anyway.
Alright, sweet as. I'm gonna aim.
Okay.
aiming is a simple action, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna double aim.
but
I'll shoot.
pulling out a grenade launcher is also. Oh, but you're not pulling out one; it's attached to your underbarrel. So
Yeah.
It's under barrel. Yep.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
double aiming, and I'll shoot it on my next action.
Okay, cool. No worries. He's a good pilot, but Hercules is not a great. She's not a very agile dancer. So we'll see how that goes next round. So the next pass, everyone take away 10 from your initiative. Mako. Yeah, do or don't. But anyway, what do you do this pass?
I'm gonna fork a data spike into the Cessna and the Wasp.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So that is this here. 3 hits. I can karma that, can I? Is it just reroll all failures for karma, or
Edge, yeah.
edge? Yeah, edge.
Yeah, edge. Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
gonna, I'm
If
gonna
you
spend
if you
an edge.
announce it, if you announce it beforehand, you re-roll the sixes. They're exploding, but otherwise they're not exploding.
You
Right,
third
okay.
and elitist G.
So it'll be 6 hits on my data spike.
All right, brilliant. They get 2 on the 2 defense on the helicopter and 3 on the Cessna for a total of 4 nets and 3 nets. You haven't quite. You've now hurt
So
the Cessna system. You haven't quite brought down the Wasp, but you've done a lot of damage.
yeah.
to
So
its,
my damage is gonna be 13 plus net hit, plus 1 per
Oh
net hit.
shit!
Kind of kitted out for data spike.
13 plus net hits. My gosh! Wow.
Got a feeling these
Okay,
are falling
so
out of the sky.
well, that's
Oh
probably the
man, you just
helicopter.
dropped the fucking hammer on him.
Yeah.
You just bricked that
Wow.
plane.
In any case, they're going to take 2. It's going to be 2 net hits because anyway. So 2,
Yeah.
15. Oh, 15. Fuck no, they're both out. Yeah, they just fall from the sky. They just fall from the sky. A long way down.
I'm just gonna, like, I think as a free action I can do this. I'm just gonna broadcast over the comm link, the open frequency or whatever, that
Yeah.
back off or you're next. And that's it for me.
All right. Omen.
I just witnessed which planes go crashing to the floor.
The
The,
non-military ones.
Yeah, the Cessna, which is the little one, and the Wasp, which is the helicopter.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna summon a spirit of fire. And these guys are just gangbangers. I get a +1 to that. Maybe a force. I'll take physical. Do a force 4. That'll be a force. Yeah, force 4 fire spirit.
All right.
Roll. Um, 14. Cool. That is 3 successes on that roll. So he has to roll. I think it's 5 dice to resist. And no, I can't hear you. Can't hear you, Andrew.
I think he's. I think he's
Sorry,
talking
that's
to the.
role playing. Yeah. I believe that's 5 dice to resist.
All right. Resist with 3 successes.
Ah, okay, so it meets my successes. Pretty sure that means I fail.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's all right. I'll resist drain. See if this works.
The fire spirit manifests long enough to burn you spiritually and then disappears.
Cool. God damn it. Is that roll? I think that roll right. Cool.
Andre, you may take the negative quality racist for free.
Racist.
Point of
time.
order, I don't think Asians can be racist.
Yeah, because they don't have the structures of power. Only white people could be racist.
You got the guns.
Obviously.
You got the guns are the structure of power in Shadowrun.
I mean, he's got us.
Just for the rest, I'll follow the planes that are falling down in Astral
All right.
after I failed.
And you find some very panicked human beings. They glow in the astral. They glow urgently. All right, Air Spirit. What's he doing?
He'll melee attack the pilot because that's
Uh-oh.
one of the pilots.
That's right. His last order was to kill everyone.
Yeah, in the plane. Well, just pilots anyway. So, but I guess the one actively trying to pilot the plane first.
That's it.
So he's force 3. So what would his melee attack be? It's just 3.
6. Yeah, I think
Oh,
6. I'm not sure.
People who know more, can you help us?
Does anyone know what a Force 3 Air Spirit's melee attack is? I think it's probably 6, but
What's its agility?
The
No, its
agility is
should be
force
high
plus
as
3.
shit. So
So
it's
6.
9. Will be its unarmed attack.
Okay.
9 does.
Unarmed combat equal to its force, so 3 times agility.
3 plus
which
its
is
agility.
Agility
6.
So
is
nine.
force
9.
plus 3.
9 dice.
Is 9 dice.
cool. It's a lot more quick and accurate than he is
1.
anticipating. But he gets 3 successes, actually 4 to resist. So this guy dodges out of the way as the invisible man manifests in the cockpit.
Air Spirit
If he
is not
doesn't
there.
see it coming, he can't dodge.
Ah, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. And he's invisible, isn't it? Even when manifested, is that right?
No.
No, if it's manifested, it's visible.
Well, then he'd
Oh,
be able
never
to
mind
dodge it
that.
then. Yeah.
I
All right,
thought it was
cool.
invisible.
Not a problem. The Cessna pilot can't regain control of his vehicle no matter how hard he tries. He's not competent of doing that level of brickwork in such a moment of stress. Godfather has no actions left. The Hercules. This will be their last go. All right. They order over the com to that they are willing to retreat. They are willing to back down. They stop firing upon you. They try to divert and try to lose altitude and lose speed. But all the while, this guy's having to deal with this spirit trying to fight in hand-to-hand combat and firing a pistol in a cockpit at an air spirit. It cannot be easy.
Oh, trust me. Like fighting a spirit in the close quarters cab of a vehicle, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I can feel that.
I mean, there's no wall here to ram your vehicle into as well.
Yeah, they don't even have anything convenient to ram their vehicle into.
There's always the ground.
The ground
That's
is
true.
easier.
It looks like it might be the option. He puts one cap into it, hurting it not much, and the other couple of bullets, they just go straight through the wall of the Hercules, opening up air holes. Well, Fenway, what do you do?
Like fireball is line of sight, isn't it?
Yes. No. Fireball, you just cast it and it's like a ranged attack, like a gun.
Okay.
That's the primary advantage of indirect elemental attacks, is you don't have to see your target.
The range is line of sight there.
But
yeah,
you have
But
to be
you
able to
can
see
see.
where you want it to explode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can see, because I suppose it wouldn't shatter the glass of a cockpit, but it might like char it to make it difficult to see through.
Can you cast spells through glass?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, in
But
that
if
case,
it's
you
a
can see it.
physical spell, like if it's an indirect. See, that's the thing with indirect elemental spells. You don't need to see where you want it to explode. You just need, because you manifest the spell where you are, and then it flies off in that direction. But which is
I
why
don't.
it's treated as a range.
And anyway, I can't target inside the cockpit because I'll kill my own spirit, and I think I've lost enough
No.
karma.
Well,
Good
no,
call.
it would hit the outside of the plane.
It
Yeah,
would,
so-
yeah.
Can I target
it would
the
hit the
engine then? Like one of the engines?
Yeah, well,
Yes.
do you?
Yes, it'd be a
Yes,
cool
but you'll. But you know what's where the engine is? Like I assume you mean the propeller.
Yeah, the
Is that what you
propeller.
mean? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'll use force 6
absolutely.
fireball.
All right, go ahead.
It'd have big ass turbines on the wings.
Yeah, it would. That's right. I just wanted to make sure that, like, I don't know. I guess I was just overcomplicating things.
2 success.
All right, this thing's a tough vehicle. I've got the stats for it here somewhere. This is it. Okay, so they're big and tough.
And then I take 2 strain, right? Well, stun.
Yeah, this thing is tough as tough. Body plus armor roll. I'm not even going to try to dodge it.
Yeah, hardened armor rules. If it's less than the armor rating, it just eats it out, right?
It doesn't have hardened armor, I don't think.
Any
like,
vehicle with armor has hardened armor, technically.
Oh, okay. All right.
Was
Oh,
it?
right.
I thought it was only spirits that got that.
Yeah, I thought hardened armor was something special as well. I don't know.
Nah, all vehicles have hardened armor.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Well, this thing's armor is 10, 9, 9. It's armor 9. Yeah, Hercules are tough.
So, yeah.
Well, I buffed our ship to a armor 8.
That's tough.
Yeah, I didn't realize how tough it was.
Might be injured. All right, so your fireball explodes upon it, but it's mostly for show. It doesn't actually do anything except for give it a scorch mark on the side and burn off.
Okay, and then I'm out then, I guess, of this initiative path.
All right. All right. So that was I probably did the Hercules guy too early. Is it? I've lost track of the initiative at this point. This Shadowrun does that
After
to me.
the Hercules should have been me.
Right. So Andre, your go.
I will
Hercules is backing off.
keep up the entire litany of abuse on the radio, and now I'll be offering them that if they pay, we'll let them live.
They're not sure that you have that capability, and they're a little bit busy shooting point blank range at spirits in their cockpit to jump on the radio and counter troll your trolling.
Nonetheless, my trolling will continue.
I find that unsurprising. Ricochet.
Alright, so I'm gonna take a third aim action.
All right.
And then I'll do I think a short burst at the engine.
All right.
With a
So
grenade launcher?
oh yeah, no, it's a grenade launcher, isn't it? Sorry, single shot. Yeah, no, just the grenade launcher.
Boom.
It has 6 shots. You could technically burst with it, I think.
Yeah, but I think the grenade launcher is just single shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it would be semi-automatic. Fuck, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, there are
Yeah, it could
semi-automatic
be.
grenade launchers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but,
It could be, but I think
Yeah.
but I don't think
I
they're
just
under battle
checked it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just checked. It's single shot. But you gotta like cock it between shots, basically.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So we're looking at a penalty of -7, I believe. We calculated before.
I laid down suppressive fire with my grenade launcher.
I'm gonna edge it.
Alright. It's not easy to dodge with a Hercules, but he's gonna try.
There we go. I dropped. Okay. High explosive grenade damage is
Oh,
16 physical minus 2 armor piercing.
7 net
16.
successes.
So it's taking 23.
Alright.
You don't add net hits to damage on grenades. They work differently.
Oh, don't you? Ah, okay.
Okay.
The way they
I
work is when you launch a grenade, you just make an attack roll, and if you get 3 successes, it lands where you're
Where
trying
you
to
want
aim.
it to be, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably shouldn't.
and
edge
it just
as
does
well.
the straight damage, which is 16 physical. The vehicle loses 2 to armor. It gets half its armor rating as automatic successes, and then rolls body plus armor.
What does cold shot do on that? Anything?
Gives you a dice pool bonus to the attack roll. Or called shot with a grenade, I no idea.
Well, because against vehicles, normally it lets you like target components.
There is a thing somewhere for that, but it's in like run and gun where you can target specific components, but to be honest, they're kind of dumb. It's like shooting the entire walk, like.
Yeah, is the 2 are the
Let me
armor
see if I
piercing?
can find it real quick. Yeah, 2 armor piercing.
Yep.
Or the auto successes are after the armor piercing's applied, so it gets 4 auto successes because you round it up to 8.
I don't think vehicles get the auto successes. They just get the hard and the if you exceed their armor value thing.
I think it's just treated as hardened armor. I can double check though, since it'll come up a
They
lot.
never refer to it as hardened armor. They just say vehicles. If the attack is less than their armor, they take no damage. Because that would make vehicles ridiculously hard to kill, even with anti-tank weapons. It's page 205, by the way.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. So yeah, it's not hardened armor. It's like half hardened armor.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh no.
Rip. Can we have an F in the chat?
Rip. Rest in pepperoni.
Finding someone who actually does it with me.
You're welcome.
I did it verbally. Plus, I'm still trying to like work my thousands of pages of information.
No, that's a lot of successes. So my fireball really stood no chance then.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I probably should have aimed it into the cockpit, but like, my spirit is still there.
See, what would be cool would be.
Well,
You
your
back, Kurt?
AP would have been
I
your
am
force,
back.
son.
Okay, sorry, slight correction there. We double checked, and vehicles don't have full hardened armor. They kind of have half, so they still ignore any damage below their armor rating, but they don't get the auto successes.
All right, I rolled 19 successes, so I hadn't even added the extra 5 anyway.
Okay, then yeah, no damage.
19 successes. Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's got a big body and a decent armor as well, but it's mainly its body is fucking enormous.
Oh, let's look up some call shots.
Isn't this where the Decker's going to earn their keep again?
Yeah, that's looking at like a dice pool of like 60 or something on average. That's fucking. If that was an average roll.
I doubt it was.
I rolled 19 successes off 26 dice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's fucking insanely good.
Most of the other ones were ones. All right. So yeah, Mako. They are going down voluntarily. Well, one of them is. The other two are going down involuntarily.
I'm sure they'll be fine. I'll go ahead and check out.
They'll be able to reassert
All right.
control, so they should be fine.
I mean,
All
the helicopter will probably auto gyro down, and the plane, well, hopefully it lands on its belly in the rice paddy.
Well, hopefully they have
Oh,
parachutes.
actually, they had a fly.
I guess it comes down to what the spirit does.
I mean, I haven't changed its orders.
So it keeps fighting.
So, I mean, I didn't realize the other plane was backing off.
Yeah, it begins to
You could have your element engulf him and choke the pilot out. And that way, if the co-pilot tries to shoot it, he will shoot into his buddy, which Andre would find hilarious if he knew about that.
And I guess it's an action to stop the airspeed. Is that right?
I mean, what was your command to the airspeed when you
Or
sent
just
it?
kill the pilot?
Well, that's unless you can get to him on your turn and
Yeah,
tell
so
him
he
to
just-
stop, then he'll
Yeah, he'll just make
carry
another
out his
melee
mission.
attack then.
All right. And so they keep wrestling and fighting until eventually, although they the spirit can't kill them and they can't kill the spirit, but neither can they land the Hercules in a rice paddy while under harassment from
I mean-
an ethereal being.
I'll call off my spirit on my
so-
turn if I know they're backing off.
Are you able to do that from a range?
I can enter the
I got no idea.
astral and fly over pretty
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah,
On
just
your
cancel it. I assumed that you'd be able to, right? But
Yeah,
yep.
is it a
Should
service?
just
Cancel a
zip here.
service?
You just lift. You just free it from servitude and
Yeah,
it goes
okay,
backwards.
I'll just tell the spirit it's done. I mean, it's done enough. It can go home.
All right. Well, it's these are pretty good pilots. They know what they're doing, but these are really, really bad conditions. Let's just see how they go. Come on, guys.
We believe in you.
This would be a real good time for the accident.
Right. Every time's a good time for accident, though. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do once I summon my spirit.
Yeah.
I was gonna cast accident on a guy, or just mind control him to crash.
Well, doesn't look like we need to mind control him to crash.
No.
The guys in the Cessnas and the Wasp, they eject. The Cessna, they jump out anyway with their parachutes. They just let their aircraft drop to the earth. The guys in the Hercules try to bring it down. They try to bring it down in the rice paddy, and they fail. It ends their lives, and it causes significant damage to the Hercules, but doesn't destroy it outright. And it just sits there in a giant rice paddy, and next, it's probably years. The farmers will just come along with their buffaloes and their plows, and they'll just work around the old rusting.
I just wake up one day and it's just like a high-tech military plane smashed into your rice paddy.
With those 3 dead Chinese assholes in it.
While I'm still in astral, I plan on not leaving anyone to survive. So whatever life signatures I can see from the crashes, I'll make my way and eventually kill them.
All right. Well, there's no people survived the crashes of Hercules, but there are 4 people who parachute out of the other air vehicles. So what are
Okay.
you going to do about these guys that are parachuting down?
Well, since we're already being kind of in a moving plane, I'll just retry to summon another spirit.
Come and cut the cords of their parachutes.
Yeah, with
Tangled
I'll
cords anyway.
do a air spirit this time. Oh no, I'll do a fire spirit because I'm better at them. I'll just burn their parachutes.
All right, go ahead and do the drain roll, and the rest of the thing should take care of itself.
Alrighty. Spirit fire. Roll 14d6. I will do force. I'm gonna keep it. Actually, how long have we got left in the day, or is this night now?
No, it's not night yet.
Okay, but it's pretty close to nighttime.
It is quite close, yeah.
Okay. That doesn't really matter. Again, I'll just have a rest and I get rid of the stun. Force 5, which will make it a 6. I'll edge this if I have to. 4 successes. No, I'll be right. I won't edge it. Hopefully, he doesn't roll me fucking perfectly.
He gets 1, 2, 3.
3.
So yeah, one task. You only need one, I guess.
I do. I'll quickly. Yeah, I'll look at him as he pops into view, and as a little payment, a little extra, I'll give him some reagents as like a bonus for doing it. Because I have a ton.
That will be done.
I point towards the parachutes, and I'll say burn all of their parachutes and make sure they fall to the ground and die.
The spirit obeys, and there's very little that they can do about it. Even if they pull out their guns and start shooting, all they're going to do is put holes in their parachutes.
Do you think like
And
Spirit
take them
World has
down
like
from there.
counselling sessions for like spirits who are forced to do things like this?
Whatever. Spirit probably got off.
Black Mage, he specifically like calls up spirits who love this shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't have counselling. They just have corruption. It's just a steady slope theory is real for spirits.
They probably use it to pick up other spirits at spirit bars.
Mako, I presume that you would be witness to the summoning of the fire spirits, this dispensation down, and then you would notice that the comlinks are no longer falling at a speed of about half a meter per second, but are rather approaching terminal velocity.
Oof. She'll keep any distaste of this to herself for the moment.
Well, that's what a mercenary would do.
Yeah. Can
Ladies
rationalize
and
it.
gentlemen, we
It wasn't me who
apologize
killed
for
him.
that. We apologize for that brief period of turbulence. If you all kind of return to your seats, I'll put the seatbelt light back on.
Lol.
Puts the seatbelt back on.
Little seatbelt light comes on.
Omen looks down and he's never been out of his seat. He's still strapped in, he's been strapped in the whole time.
Jump back in and back out of my out of body experience, and I just have a nice little smile going.
So, by the way, our windshield is now gone, right? So we're flying through like a thunderstorm with no windshield now.
That's correct.
How much damage did that bullet do to get through reinforce? Must be
It's
fucking-
probably not. I mean, it's bird glass, I guess, but
Yeah, and
Well, no, he had the spell up.
So it'd be like the eight armor for the whole time on the vehicle. It doesn't matter to me really. Like, if it's broken, it's broken. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll just go with broken.
Wait,
Okay.
could a spirit like event when it
Godfather activates his
manifests?
like
Can it like
Adam Jensen shades to keep the water out of his eyes.
say spirits of Earth? Like
Sorry, what was that?
when it manifests, can it manifest as like anything? Can it be like clear crystal?
Say that
Yeah.
again?
I say like, could we summon a spirit of Earth to act as like the windshield?
I mean,
I don't,
I don't-
think so.
I don't.
What
Yeah,
a
you don't really
humiliating
get to choose
service.
what they manifest as. They just manifest as something appropriate to your tradition.
Okay.
But if it had a particular type of power, like is there a shaping power or something like that? Like I don't think it would be impossible. I just
It has the
I don't know how you
materialization
do
power.
it.
Like, I don't know what that would do.
Just put a blanket on, you pussies.
No, it won't materialize as a pane of glass. You'll have to use some other power to shape it into a pane of glass.
I could just toxic breath you, noxious breath, so you pass out until we get there.
Yeah. I mean, I assume that it's
No?
harder to fly with the windshield gone.
Oh, absolutely. But most of all, it's just annoying because you're like rain hitting you at 300 kilometers an hour. Fuck, that's painful.
We're going.
It's pretty
This
shitty at
plane's
50
max
miles
speed
per
is like 60 miles an hour.
60 miles, 100.
could we?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So even so, 100 kilometers is it's pretty cold up there. Sorry, Magda.
So I guess
I was saying, yeah, at 50 miles per hour, it's pretty shitty too.
Yeah. But
What if you
little
summon a
little
spirit
sharp-
of water with the optional power of weather control?
that works, or would possibly potentially.
that could work. Water spirit.
Water. Accent, binding, edgy, weather control. Oh yeah, that's an optional power. It has to be at least 3. Yeah, it's not
So
worth
call
the
that. Yeah.
It's not worth the stun for me. I don't really care.
What about you, Fenway? Any interest?
Yeah, I'll try it. Why not? I mean, I've got a lot of
All right,
stun left.
cool. What
Yeah,
force?
Force 3.
All right, and you don't have the. It's a force 3 spirit.
Yes, it's
It's not
just
like
force
boost
3.
the force 4.
I have different I have spirit affinity for beasts,
Yeah.
but that doesn't affect this.
It glitched. I don't think it matters, though, does it?
I rolled a 2. I
You
am
get 2
good wizard.
services.
And I'll use this optional power to like control
Service
the weather.
1, keep us dry, bitch.
Yeah, like lower the weather in the area.
All right, it doesn't. It's a little, it makes the flying a little bit easier because there's less turbulence. You get a little bit little less wetter, but there's only so much that it can do, and
It's doing its best.
it's doing its best. You wanted force 3, you got force 3. All right,
Hey guys, have you
but
have you
all
guys
is well.
met
is
my
well.
pet rat?
And which Ricochet puts his
No.
earbuds back
Yeah,
in,
he'll show
closes
you.
his eyes and goes to sleep.
I mean, we're going to feed him to a snake, but I gave him a name.
What's his name?
His name's Claw.
Claw. That's a good name, I guess.
Yeah, I'm training him at the moment, but he's a little resistant.
I'm sure he'll come around.
Yeah, certainly. Give him a little bit of the cheese.
The endless rice paddies and shanties and polluted mines that dump their tailings into local riverways. All of these give way to endless jungle. Endless jungle. The jungle just extends far beyond any horizon that you can see. And ironically, the weather gets a little bit better in the rainforest. There's less rain than there was over the mainland, over the lowland. And you're about halfway through your journey now, maybe a little more than half. And it's no longer really clear visually whether you're in Thailand or Cambodia. So as you come up to the disputed border, is there anything, do you have any sort of rituals? You pop a champagne, kiss the person next to you, don't give a fuck at all? Anything?
Andre will man the radio. A lot of intensity.
Good morning,
Get
Vietnam.
off the fucking radio. We're trying to be low key here, goddammit.
He'll just be ready.
Radio Free Cambodia.
Yeah, Godfather's gonna come in low and try to basically skim below the radar.
Yeah. All right. Good. This flow to the trees, there you can see the plumage of the birds. So many birds. You startle them. They fly by the dozen, by the hundred, and in some cases by the thousand. Birds of untold variety of colours as well. A couple of them run into do we have a windscreen now?
No,
We
we
do
don't.
not.
We have
All
a
right,
wind
so there's
spirit that's
birds in
lowering the.
cockpit.
Excuse me.
Fucking parrot flies straight into the cockpit and starts flapping its wings and
grab him.
scratching and shit.
Grab
All right, how do you grab your parrot?
my hand
With my hand.
I guess it's a
by
grappling
his
check.
feet.
Unarmed, brawled. Yeah.
Yeah. It would roll like reaction plus intuition to dodge, I think.
Yep, sounds good. Make a brawl check, and this poor bird's going to try to get away. 3 successes against your 4. You've barely got it. It's. You've got a very loose grip on the bird. What are you going to do with it?
Can I cast a spell
I will
to calm the bird down?
tighten the grip.
Would influence work?
Potentially.
Are we just getting a pet parrot now? Is
Yes.
this what's happening?
This is happening.
Yeah.
Literally in Cambodia for 5 seconds. We've got a pet parrot.
Not even 5 seconds.
I'll
Got our
force
first
through it.
fucking pet. This is a sign. It is auspicious.
All right, you have influenced the parrot. The parrot comes down and settles down on Andre's shoulder, and tries to stay out of the wind and the rain.
I will try to get him
Do
to play
parrots
along
eat cheese?
to my guitar.
Make a performance check. So what's the skill check for using your guitar?
I think
It's probably just a
there
knowledge
is a
skill,
performance
isn't
skill.
it?
Yes, there is a performance skill.
Cool. Make a performance check,
Artisan.
and you get
Fuck
the
is it?
+3 bonus because it's Jimi Hendrix's guitar.
What is artisan? Isn't that for like carving shit?
Yeah, never mind.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's artisan or performance.
So it's the performance and charisma, I think, or maybe dexterity.
I think it's
agility.
charisma.
I mean,
Yeah, performance is charisma. Artisan is intuition.
you could argue it's agility though, because you like pull off a fully bullshit riff, like you go into a lead break or something.
I agree with Artie.
Because you're using your dexterity of your fingers rather than
Yeah,
your charisma.
Yeah, charisma is
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, but
like
those
for
are- those
impressing
go
a
on
crowd.
intellectual advice, but they don't get to use their agility for that.
Yeah, artisan is a technical skill and performance is a social skill.
So
Is
you
it not
use-
possible to substitute one attribute for another?
Yeah, it absolutely is. But yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, go ahead and make an agility check with performance. All right, cool. The parrot sings along, and you now have a backing band. It
It's
let's
gonna
go.
have it spewing racial slurs in a minute.
That's fantastic. Let's call
In
it Tay.
several languages.
What? Kill the
See?
Chinese dogs?
The druid is
Oh
bringing
my
several small animals into the party.
Is it
Oh, no.
squawking during the whole flight?
It was, but we calmed emotions or something, didn't we? Like, did we
Influence?
5 successes on influence? Like, that's got to calm a little fucking bird brain down. Surely, five successes. I don't think a bird could resist that.
That's good.
I
And
rolled
I
well on
really
like
want my.
this one roll against the parrot.
I
It would
really
be
didn't.
performance, by the way, because one of the specializations for performance is specific musical instrument, whereas artisan is more making something. So if you wanted to do a painting, you'd use artisan.
I'm trying to find a native parrot of Cambodia, but I can't really be sure. Maybe the Alexandrine parrot. I'm not sure.
It's a good thing you calmed it down. If it was squawking the entire time, my vindictive quality might have shot it in the face.
There might have been bad things that would have happened at that point inside this plane.
Yeah, there would have been.
Paranoid parrot.
I can train your parrot if you want.
Andre will look at you like you might be insane.
You know, don't you want it to
And
come
he'll
to you when you call his
continue to
name?
play.
The birds just don't seem to give up. They seem to be relentless. All manner of birds are kind of driving you to fly a little bit higher than you would otherwise like. Otherwise, you're just we could enter the illegal bird trade, I suppose. Like we could. This is how we catch birds. We fly through like a fucking butterfly net through the jungle with our Cessna. It's
Quick question: how long have we been flying by now?
more than halfway. You've been flying for about 5.5 hours, and maybe even 6 hours, and it's meant to be an 8 to 10 hour journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Just to let you know, about hour 7, I'm gonna come down from this beta meth, and it's not gonna be pretty.
That's
So
pretty
keep that in
long.
mind.
Yeah, that's worth knowing. All right. So yeah, the bird life just gets more and more. Ironically, the rain lifts and you start seeing the sun for the first time. Although it's still very cloudy, you do for brief moments get to see the blue sky above. Blue sky? Has anyone seen a blue sky before? I suppose a few of you have. Not many of you would have done.
nah.
But anyway,
What's
there is a
Wales
blue
like
sky.
in the Shadowrun world?
I can't imagine it's very good. Like that's Wales sounds a little bit industrial.
Isn't it like occupied by the elves or some shit?
Oh,
My
that's
my
fine.
character
Okay.
comes from Wales, incidentally. That's
No,
why I
I'm
asked.
thinking of Ireland.
Yeah, Ireland definitely is. Like, there's probably like an elven Republican army operating in Wales, trying to free the two.
The elven, the ERA.
Yeah, that's the ERA.
They hear you coming.
They won't hear a thing. All right. So lots of birds, but we do our best to maintain a low profile. But then some of the birds get fucking monumentally big. Hey, like birds with wingspan that's almost as big as your Cessna. Big, big birds, and by now it's like nothing but mist, right? Like you're above the tree line. You've got relatively good vision because the mist is thin, but there is this layer of mist that is effectively the cloud. If you've ever been to the rainforest and you've seen sometimes the clouds come so low that you can't tell where the mist ends and the cloud begins, and you are basically that's what we're doing now. Is we're flying through low-lying mist and cloud over this incredibly large jungle. You can see huge rivers and waterfalls, and the whole thing appears to be untouched. Though there's no mines or settlements, but these fucking birds are enormous, huge eagles with wingspans 70-80% of your own.
Yeah, Godfather's gonna start trying to climb above him. 'Cause he's not liking this shit.
That would be a hell of a bird strike.
Yeah, can we get one of these parrots as a pet?
Imagine riding one of them around.
We could like strap a machine gun to one and use it as like an improvised aircraft or something. A biological bomber.
Probably hold out more than this thing.
We'll just ditch this
This
for one
is
of the
done
giant
quite
birds.
well.
Just imagine anytime a Johnson stiffs us, we could have it shit on his car.
Damn.
We know where his car is. That's not what's going to happen to him.
Okay, we have a shit on his car. Then he's like, "Oh god, why did Big Bird take a shit on my car?" Then it blows up.
Humiliated.
Humiliated, then killed.
What, genetically
Alright,
modify the
so-
bird so it should explode.
Just put a grenade in it. Just throw a
Okay.
grenade into its gun.
Just feed it nitroglycerin.
Yeah, so there's only
Why am
3
I giving you
parrots
ideas?
in Thailand,
Oh, really?
at least modern day. I don't know about
Okay.
the 6th world.
No, this is a modern day parrot.
You can teach it
Oh.
armor use. You can put armor on it.
Thank you for that. We'll go with a blue
It's
rock
like 6 inches tall.
Yeah, probably companion
want-
would probably be the best.
Sure. If you want to go up the skyline, that's probably going to expose you to radar because this thick blanket of fog only exists because it's not raining right now, and the sun is probably shining above this low cloud. So yeah, there's nothing stopping you from breaching the cloud canopy and getting out of this labyrinth of trees and of parrots and of bats. Even in the middle of the freaking day, there's giant bats flying around. So yeah, what's it going to be? Radar or animals?
If they got birds that are that big, you
Yeah,
could
man.
possibly even periodically drop into the radar, and they might just think you're one of these big ass fucking birds.
That's a concept that I hadn't actually considered.
Like, sir, there's something here. It's like, yeah, that's just one of the big birds. You just ignore it.
Yeah. Look at the size of this motherfucker. Woo!
it
The guy eats his donut while he watches it on the radar. Fuck, man, that's a
Yeah,
big
Fly a
taps
bit
the screen.
rapidly so it's not obvious that you're going in a straight line, and
That's brilliant.
Do some loopy loops.
Just mind control a couple of these birds into flying in formation with us.
Does mob mind work on animals? I didn't even
I think
consider
there's a
that.
specific
It
animal
does.
control one, isn't there?
There's critter
I
control,
think it
which is
says
a beast
creature.
one.
I
Imagine
think
critical-
Line says it only works on creatures with
Ta-
sapient.
target's mind of mob mind. It says. It doesn't say anything else.
I think I had a quick look, like through the spells. There wasn't one that had animal like in the name.
It just says
I
target. It
think
doesn't say
that one's
anything else.
just particularly effective or something, but I got no idea.
Does
Yeah.
anyone have xenobiology?
I think I
Not
have
xeno,
parazoology.
Parazoology, that's what I mean, yeah. Again, like I was just thinking to myself, what are the chances? Hang on, they probably do. So I thought I'd suggest it. Does anyone have parazoology? You could make
I
a
do.
parazoology knowledge check.
It's a logic mental, isn't it? One.
A single
Yeah, if
success.
it's
Yeah, I have it as a logic skill.
All right.
yeah, related attribute depends on how you know it. If you know it academically, it's logic. If you know it professionally, it's intuition. And if you know it at like a street level, I think it's also intuition.
Right. Yeah.
Well, my intuition and logic are the same.
Yeah, cool. So it matters nothing, not much. One success is enough to give you some theories, but no concrete evidence. You've heard of a bird called a rock. Rocks are the biggest birds in the world, right? they're like awakened albatrosses, but that doesn't make any sense to you. These can't be rocks because an albatross doesn't go into the jungle. Albatross is a seabird; they fly from one continent to the other. So what little parazoology you know tells you these are not rocks. Hooray!
I was gonna say,
I've ruled out one species out of like 700 million.
It's like, I don't think these are rocks, but they're gorgeous, aren't they? What I wouldn't give to like, train one of them.
Alright.
He would have really fit in with the XYZ.
If we stick around long enough, maybe I'll get a chance to.
As for the birder radar question,
Yeah,
can I attempt to like thread the needle in the cloud layer?
absolutely.
Yeah, turn on like thermographic vision or something like that, so I can see if I'm about to run into anything. But yeah,
How far does your thermo extend?
it doesn't give a range. It just I can see.
Right. What's a reasonable distance then? 300 meters, I guess? Like your
Right, that
thermo
would-
imaging isn't going to extend a kilometer, I wouldn't think. 300 meters? What does anyone else think?
I think a lot of it would depend on what the background is. Like
Rainforest and
raining
mist.
really fucks up. Well, it's the difference between the temperatures.
Okay. It's pretty cool up here. It's about 25, 22 degrees Celsius, whereas down at the bottom, it's like 30 degrees, 35 even. There's a
Basically,
big difference.
what it means is that you can see light into the infrared spectrum, so you can see radiated heat from things as well.
Yeah, so the
Yeah,
jungle
so
is
it-
radiating lots of heat, and up here it's really cool.
So it'd be the difference as to where you were looking.
All right, that works well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All
Because
right, so anyone...
if something's
you
down
go.
in the jungle
Yeah,
and the temperature is only a degree difference, it
you're
might
not
not
going to
show up
pick
that.
that up. That's perfect. Okay, that's it. Thank you for the explanation. That's exactly what I need. Anyone who has access to that information, which I suppose is everyone, because I imagine that Godfather is freely sharing the data, it can make a perception check, not data analysis, but just good old-fashioned perception. Having a look around.
I've also got thermographic as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot then.
Yeah.
1.
This is a visual perception test, isn't it?
It's definitely visual. Yeah. Okay, Ricochet, good. Omen, you keep your eyes on the jungle, as does Fenway. Even Andre. But Ricochet and Godfather, they don't just look down, they also look up. And while your plane shimmers between this blanket layer of fog, which occasionally thins so much that you're exposed completely, you don't get much heat signature difference between the creatures in the jungle and the body because they're both about 35 degrees more or less. But you up above, where it's 20 degrees or 18 degrees, you can see the body heat of a tremendously large creature, far in excess of your Cessna. You can't see it visually because you haven't broken the cloud layer, but you can see it thermographically. This huge heat signature, far above, hundreds of feet, like maybe about 300 meters, 1,000 feet above our own position, soaring with such speed.
Is it
Yeah,
tame?
he's basically just gonna like break off and try to get away from it.
So the
Like
dragon,
not
there's no
breaking
way
up
of
or below that.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, like staying within the cloud layer, but just veering left or right or air braking or accelerating, just whatever it takes to get away from this thing.
All right. How do you make a stealth check with a plane? Piloting, I
You
suppose.
You can actually just roll stealth with reaction because it's a vehicle skill, and
Yeah,
vehicle's a specialization of stealth.
excellent.
And I
That's
actually have a and I have a quality called subtle pilot that gives me a +2 bonus.
It would be difficult to tell whether it's a dragon or not, Ricochet. Is there any way that through heat alone you might ascertain that?
I don't think I said anything about being a dragon, did I?
Sorry. I thought that that's exactly.
No, I just said, is it tailing us?
Oh, yeah. No, I thought you said it was a dragon. Is it tailing you?
Yeah.
I guess that's an intuition check. Intuition and I'm not sure to judge the intentions of an animal.
Well, I just mean like as in, is it going in the same direction as us, or is it just something that we just happen to be like flying past,
Sure.
heading in the same direction as us, approximately?
Approximately.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
behind us, not in front of us.
Above and moving past you, so it kind of overtakes you as it does a great big circle. Yeah, that's the good way to describe it. It's doing a huge circle, kilometers and kilometers wide, and it just glides past you and above you and beyond. Just keeps going.
Yeah, sneaking is technically 4 successes because I think handling is the limit.
So, sorry, I haven't brought up his character sheet yet. There it is. So is perception plus intuition?
Yeah.
That's the skill. Cool. I'll give you an extra 3 dice for the fog. So yeah, you can add an extra 3 dice for the fog.
I'm already at my limit, 4 successes.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, gee. 1, 2, 3 successes of 14 dice. Are we interested at all in identifying this creature, or are we dead set on just trying to stay out of its?
I suppose I can try to
notice?
identify it.
How?
I can see it, or is it like hidden?
Sensing.
No, that's no.
I do have a sensing if it's like a paracritter, I guess.
Okay.
You can sense anything with an astral
Oh, okay.
signature to tell what it is.
I'll
You
try
roll and
sense
there's
it.
a table, and based on how many successes, you can determine certain things about it.
All right. So, without astrally projecting, is there any way to sense something that you can't visually see?
Astral perception, you can sometimes see an aura that would be physically obstructed. It depends on something like fog. It would be almost no impediment to astral sight, I think.
A good example. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's right. It would radiate through it. Yeah, brilliant. I love the. Thank you for explaining it that way. And because what you see above you is something powerful and ancient and primal and huge and intensely magical. And it's the brightness of its soul burns through the fog, just burns the fog away. And you would see this tremendous bird whose wingspan as large as perhaps a commercial airliner, a 737 or something, one of the smaller jets, jumbo jets. You could make perhaps another paracritter roll at this point, parazoology.
With 2 hits on assessing, you can determine the class of magical subject, like fire elemental, manipulation spell, power focus, etc.
It's a paracritter. It's an animal, an awakened animal.
It's 2 on the parazoology.
You don't think you've never heard of a bird this big before? Its wingspan seems to be greater than than anything that has ever been captured by science. There are many rumors that there are bigger birds out there. They call them greater rocks, but no greater rock has ever been reliably recorded or seen or is known to science. Only lesser rocks are known.
They could probably just
could I-
stand for a few moments, like probably like mention it. Mutters just like, "Oh, it's beautiful." And he's just going to say to the
Can I,
rest of them, like, oh, "This thing's probably never been seen. Like this is like a truly rare sight." Not realizing that this is probably a very dangerous situation.
Is it? Can it be worse than the machine gun?
Well, it might be one of the greater rocks. Like I don't think anyone's ever seen one before.
All the more reason we should film it.
Can I summon a spirit, please? Spirit of man.
Absolutely.
So that's actually that one. I'll do it. Oh, I just want to get him to see it. Just a force 2, so it'll be a force 3. I just want to. Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah, I'll do it that time. I roll well.
Force 3, hey? So it's 4th level spirit. No successes to resist, so it has 7 service.
Okay.
I guess drain.
Yes, drain. So a
Keep that
minimum
up.
of 2. So 2 drain. I have to resist. Where is my drain button? There it is. And I'm fine.
Yep.
I'll order him to try to remain undetected and tell me what the creature is. The giant. What creature is it above us? If he can determine it.
Would it be able to do that? I don't think it knows biological terminology. I'm not sure how that works. Like taxonomy is like a science. Not sure. I don't know. Maybe it does.
I just
Spirits.
might.
Yeah, that
Sorry,
is a thing. Spirits don't really know much. Like they're, yeah, you couldn't ask it to tell you about something it doesn't know.
Okay, I just thought because it was a spirit and it was like a awakened creature, I thought they might know something. But
Yeah.
if it
If
doesn't,
it was
then
like
it's
a
all right.
beast spirit,
It
maybe.
tells you it's a
but-
thunderbird. It tells you it's one of the ancient birds whose wings beat, and when they beat their wings, the rains fall because they hold the oceans on their back. It's a thunderbird.
Well, you heard it there first. All right, thank you. And I'll just for summoning him and for his 7 services as a good boy, I'll give him 10 reagents.
He thanks you, master. Takes his reagents back to the realm.
And for another 6 services. Nice. Okay, I'm good.
How about a drone? Sorry, keep going. Yes.
As much as I want to see it, but we probably should get away from it. It's probably pretty dangerous.
Don't be a wuss. I want to see it.
Well, I'm flying the plane and I'm getting the fuck away.
And I don't think you have any drones, Andre.
I do have a drone, but I'm.
No, Andre. I don't think Andre has any drones. Yeah.
About the new unit for having a video of it.
So
Why don't you stick your head out the window, Andre?
Think about the pay data.
If I went into the astral and like went off to find the bird, how easy would it be to find the plane again?
I don't think it'd be that hard, but I'm not exactly sure.
Because I think my character would know, wouldn't he?
There is
That's,
theoretically, when you're in the astral plane, like a thread that connects your astral body to your
Okay,
physical
so
body.
pretty easy then.
The main problem would be though that like a place like this is riddled with spirits, and they might cut your astral cord or something.
Generally, it's not so much like something you can cut because it's yours. Even though you're on the astral, you're still tethered to your body, which is why if your body dies, your astral dies.
Maybe then rather the spirits that will intercept you on the way back to your body.
Yeah, it's like a
I
I
link.
don't
it's-
think.
It's
it's
how
not
if
like
your
that.
body gets moved. Because if your body gets moved, the mage can still find their body. It's just
Yeah,
harder, and they
yeah.
do it by following this
Yeah,
link.
Yeah.
I thought that was. I don't think there's a link because I thought the whole thing was like if you really want to like play a prank on a mage who's astrally projecting, is you move their body because then they have to go find it. Like,
Well, yeah,
It was
they
always
do.
a lot
I
harder.
don't think
yeah.
they just have a cord that leads them right back.
They do, but it's not like a string that you can just pull on.
Yeah.
It's an aid in finding your body, but you've still gotta find it.
Think of it more like a compass and a map than an actual rope that tethers you through the labyrinth. But I don't know.
Yeah, that
I
makes
don't
more
know.
sense. Like you have an idea where it is, but
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
If
a
it's just
compass
above,
with-
I should. So if I just slip into the astral and I look up, what do I see? Where the creature is?
Because an
Yeah,
important
like-
thing with astral is if you're in there for too long, you die. You have to go back to your body after a couple of hours. And so if you lose
isn't
your
it
body,
like
you're fucked.
spirits? Like if you're still in astral at sundown or sunrise or whatever, it's like the
I
opposite.
don't know about in 5th edition, but in earlier editions, it was your magic and hours was how long you could stay in there for.
I didn't know that.
Keep in mind, Fenway, as well. If it's a paracritter, it can see you even though you're projection.
I mean,
Only if it's dual nature.
This probably is dual nature. This is like a Thunderbird. I mean, that's one to get a look at it.
Yeah.
All right. So you project through the roof of your plane and then try to look through the fog to see what's above. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, just look for the creature in the astral.
All right. But is there an astral stealth roll?
I think it's stealth with intuition instead of agility.
Sounds good.
Or
Thanks.
logic, actually, because logic subs for agility.
Okay.
Mental stats.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Stealth and logic.
Do I like counter with perception?
Well, let's worry about you being seen before you can see
Okay.
anything.
I thought it was hiding from me.
I made that brilliant stealth throw, and you assholes are gonna get a shot down by a fucking bird. So you're like, ooh, I want to see it.
I mean,
Maybe
I'm a
he's
druid.
Mages, man, mages. Not even once.
I mean, I did flying colors. I didn't even send me. I sent something else.
So make a stealth roll. It's logic and stuff. Fenway.
I don't have stealth, so I guess it's default.
Yeah, so
Logic
default's
-1.
-1, right? Yeah, default means negative.
2.
You have been seen. You see a magnificent creature, a primordial creature. You see a titan. You see a spirit made manifest. You see the jungle when viewed from the gods. You see a greater rock, and it sees you. It dives.
Does it help that I have spirit affinity beasts?
May help.
It's not.
It dives. It doesn't dive in the like something trying to snatch an eagle snatching a fish out of the water, but it catches on the wind and dives. It's coming lower. You've gotten its attention. It's not a spirit,
For
so that may
fuck's
help.
sake, Fenway.
I'm proud of you.
I've
I
got an
swear to
idea.
God, you compromise our asses again, I'm throwing you out of this plane.
I mean,
I
you
You
don't know.
won't
They
do
didn't
it.
just see the
It's all
plane.
talk.
I saw him go astral.
You don't. So you have no
I
idea
saw him
what's
just
going
go
on.
comatose in the back seat,
He
and
might
then
have been
the
having an
rock
epileptic
dive.
fit.
And
Come
he
on,
couldn't hear you.
people don't move. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
You have no idea what's.
I saw the mage go astral in the back seat, and then the rock dived.
What? Sorry.
Coincidence?
What's the minimum of 2?
For all you know, you won't know about the rock until it shreds the plane.
Beagle's body.
I was the one who made the perception check to see it.
Yeah, true. Yeah. You've got a radar on it by now. You would have pinged the rock. It's its heat signature's big enough that you can
I
track
got
it.
an arrow on it.
What's that body?
Yeah,
16.
that's right. An arrow.
So half of 16 is 8.
Have I
It-
summoned Oz?
It's coming for us. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, we're in between a rock and a hard place. My God!
You
I'm
did
done.
it!
I'm done. That's it. We're done, boys.
Based on some change of crash tests.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
All right, no, we get. I could maybe if I'm lucky. How does he cast that though? What does he use?
What are you casting?
I'm gonna try and do movement on our plane to get us the fuck out of here, like at
Do
break
you have that? Do you
breakneck
have that
speed.
spell?
No, I'm gonna have to summon a really high air spirit because it's 8 is the half of this plane's body, so I'm gonna have to get at least 8 to do it.
Yeah, but I thought it only knew one spell known by the summoner.
That's why I said I'm gonna have to try and summon a really high air spirit because air spirits get it normally. Plus, I feel like
yeah,
air
they do.
spirit's probably more. All right, so that's gonna get rid of my spirit man. I really should not have chosen my spells. All right,
So yeah, you spend a complex action
Yeah.
to dispel your
Dis-
first spirit.
and I'll quickly summon
Another complex to summon another spirit.
a spirit.
Well, the rock's not upon us yet, so we do have time. It's
If you want, you can use reckless summoning to cast it as a simple action.
I have no idea what that is.
It just means you take physical drain, I think, and +2 drain or +3 drain or something like that.
Okay, I haven't used my what's the name yet. My edge, so I could probably just edge the drain and see how that goes. Yeah, I'll do that. So summoning. Oh boy, so many tabs.
I believe in you.
Sorry, spirit. Oh, movement is a power they have. I need to do, and when they use powers, it's a force thing, isn't it? Their force.
Yeah, they.
So the
they're-
movement spell. Or their
Actually,
power.
critter power is
Movement power.
just movement. Yeah.
It just happens.
You have to look it up in the book. I got it.
The power allows the critter to speed up or slow down. So if the critter can multiply or divide the target's movement speed up to a magic attribute.
Holy shit.
If the target is a vehicle, it makes critter makes a magic plus willpower test. So it'd be force plus willpower.
Yeah.
Test. Threshold to half the vehicle's body. So it's
So
gonna have to be
force
pretty.
times 2.
So force times 2.
Yeah.
I want 8, so I'm gonna make this pretty fucking big.
You can do it.
All right.
Just know if you fuck up, we die.
Yeah.
No pressure.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do a force. I'm gonna go to a force 11. I'm gonna take physical for this.
Only if you
Alright.
fail.
Yeah, very true. That's comforting.
So that's 12 to resist or 11 to resist.
So pretty
12.
sure it's 12.
Oh.
Not my limits. What am I? I'm looking for skills. Summoning. Alrighty. Let's do. I might have to edge it to actually summon it, and I may almost die, but we'll see. 6 successes on my summoning. Should I edge it?
You'll get 6 more dice, I think.
It's pretty good, but I can roll 6 more dice on top of that to get more dice, more hits. No, it's an alright roll. I'll just stick with it.
You get 2 net
Yeah, if you're gonna need
successes.
the edge for drain, hold on.
I get I got 2 net success. All right. Okay, resist drain. So how much drain am I resisting now?
You got 4 hits, so like 8, isn't it?
So resist drain with
Yeah.
13 dice.
2 times hits. You can do it. Too easy.
Yeah.
Probably.
13.
You're gonna die.
6. 4 successes. I'll edge it and roll the rest. Roll.
96.
This is a real long shot still.
6, yeah.
Wow.
Almost a glitch.
So 5, 8. So I only take 3 hits of physical. Physical 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm still fine. And I command the I command the air spirit to cast movement on our airplane, which will then let me look at the spell. So
you need to roll force times 2, which is 24 dice, I believe.
Force.
And you need to get 8 successes.
Force times 2, and I did a force 12, so 24. 24 d6. Pray, boys, pray. 10 successes.
We're about to break the sound barrier,
We're about
baby.
to, yeah.
We're about to
All
disappear.
right.
As I give the command, I shout out to everyone. Fucking strap in. And Daddy, hold on tight and keep us true. And I'll give the command to cast movement and on the airplane. So how many times do we double our speed?
Yeah, I'm reading it right.
Can multiply or divide the target's movement rate up to its magic attribute. So multiply our speed by 12.
No.
We're currently going about 60 miles an hour.
Work 100 kilometers. 100 kilometers.
Vehicles
So-
are different.
Yeah.
But
You multiply its acceleration by your hits.
if the target is a vehicle, threshold, multiply the hits by the vehicle's acceleration rating and add the result to the vehicle's speed in the next combat turn.
It only lasts one turn.
If the critic can continue to make magic plus willpower test to increase or decrease the speed's vehicle each combat turn, that it sustains the power and the vehicle remains in its domain terrain based on the situation.
So its acceleration is 2. Is that net hits or total hits? Most things normally are net hits.
God, this
It
is
just says
It
the hit.
just says hits.
Yeah. Alright, so 40. You add 40 to its speed.
Speed goes up to like 12.
12. Speed of 12 is fast. We know that. I'm going to share with you the formula for this thing's flight, and it's I don't understand what the fuck that means. Movement times 1 times 2 plus 1 times 2 times 5 plus 2 flight skills flight 8. Can anyone
Yeah.
read that for me? And tell me if we're
Speed
faster than that.
10. Speed 10 is 5,120 meters per combat turn.
Like we're not in Cambodia anymore.
Oh, shit.
We overshot. Fuck.
Fuck.
So Johnson's like, why are you in China?
That tells me everything I need to know except for 2 things. First of all, the Godfather has to make a pilot check at -5, and everybody else, like, I guess it's a body plus armor check to resist the force of like the wind
G-force.
blowing against you. You know, like, you
I
just
have
broke
no
the
windscreen.
sound
Ludicrous speed.
like, you're not wearing goggles. Your eyeballs are going to be ripped out of your fucking heads at this.
So look at that, I'm wearing a ballistics mask.
Yeah, I'm buckled up and ready to ballistics vest. I'm ready for this shit.
Body plus armor.
As you said, ludicrous speed. All I can see now is the Spaceballs scene where they go ludicrous.
Yeah. Fucking ludicrous. That's literally this scene.
Fuck. What
We're
are we?
going into hyperspace.
What's the roll we have to do for body armor? Body plus armor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 for body. Gear.
Yeah, body plus armor to resist sonic boom.
4.
How much?
Street gear.
I'm gonna go with
I'll
5
edge that roll.
damage, 5 physical and 5 stun, maybe. Like that sound like logical because if we went Mac fucking 5, Mac 5 sounds like 5 damage. I don't know. There's no. This isn't in the rule book.
Oh, 6 successes. I'm fucking sweet. I mean, I did tell everyone to strap in. I just didn't know how fucked wrapped in to be.
5 physical and 5 stun.
Okay. So I resist heart. Which one? Which part do I resist? If I roll
You
6.
resist stun with will, and I'm pretty sure stun's resisted differently.
Normally you resist
okay.
both with body.
Oh right, okay, cool.
Oh,
Just
so with
resist twice then. Just roll twice. First for physical, then for stun, then for stun.
But will determines
cool.
your stun hit points, basically.
Right, thank you for that. Yeah.
So I
I'm fine.
resist all the stun, but take 1 physical.
Perfect. You got a
Get,
little
like-
bit of a little whiplash. That's all you got. Just a bit of whiplash.
My spirit must.
So
Like,
we
I
roll
look
twice?
down to like put my seatbelt on, but it's already on, and it's like slam my head at the back headrest.
Yeah, roll
Probably the
twice.
same for me.
Mako's
One, two.
tough.
One point.
All right. But we have well and truly gotten away from this rock. We have zoomed past it. In fact, we have ended up arriving about an hour and a half before our comm computer told us it. Well, it's ready to retire. That little tracker that's trying to tell you that these conditions are too much.
It's just not prepared for like.
How many?
Yeah, go ahead.
How many services? Sorry, did I get on that air spirit?
Was it
2.
7?
I got 2 services. Okay,
So,
cool. I've got 1 more. I'm gonna put that in the bank.
all right. The jungle gives way to the largest lake any of you are likely to have ever seen, one of the largest lakes in the world. And flooding as it is in monsoon season right now, it's all the more swell, taking countless space. And there are so many boats on there, fishing boats and houseboats and a handful of speedboats as well, but only a handful. Most of them are not that modern. But here we are. We have reached the vicinity of Siem Reap. Unfortunately, we haven't yet landed. The worst may be yet to come.
What could be worse than a greater rock?
Do I have to
Crashing
slow
into
us? Do I have to slow us down now?
I imagine that we've taken care of that.
Okay. Cool.
Does it cost a service? I don't know. I suppose it would.
Once
the
it
critic
stops
king-
maintaining it, it should just naturally
Oh,
start
if it's
slow.
yeah. All right. Well, yeah.
Otherwise, what if you only got one service?
Yeah,
You're
okay,
going
yeah, right,
fast
right.
forever.
It was a pretty
says,
illogical conclusion to make.
Ah, cool. We're done. It would just stop concentrating then.
Okay. Awesome. 5 karma. You have finally reached your destination. Or, no, you haven't. But you're close. You're close. 5 karma.
And I didn't lose any this session.
You didn't.
So, Tom, I hope you enjoyed it and hope you stick around. I've got another session coming up, so I'm going to have to head off. But, yeah, I hope you liked it and hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Great session, man. Catch you next week. See you tomorrow, guys.
See you soon, everyone.
Say goodbye to the internet people.
Goodbye, internet.
Farewell,
Goodbye.
internet
Bye,
people.
internet.